I give it all. All that I got will never stop. I give it all. Straight to the top, will never stop. I give it all. All that I have, I let it be. Cause nobody's better than me. What do you see? Give it all. Yeah, all that I got, I give it everything. They lost the plot, they think I'm menacing. They wanna talk, but I ain't settling. Circle is tight, feeling like better rains. Whole lot of globe trotting, man, they don't know nada. Bro, gotta show something to me and go harder. So proper, nah, not that. We sure gotta give it all raw now, like God got us. All that I got will never stop. I give it all. Straight to the top, will never stop. I give it all. They want me rock, I never blow. I give it all. Whoa, what you say, my man? Give it all. Whoa, hey, give it all, give it all. Whoa, yeah, stand tall, give it all. All that I have, I let it be. Cause nobody's better than me. What do you see? Give it all. What do you think when people look at me? 100 degrees tougher than Booker T. Couldn't agree more, but could it be? I think higher than them all. Truthfully, my pen fire and then some. Apply the addendum. Take this whole thing for ransom. Give it all I got for attention. Not a mention of life well lived, for instance. Give it all.
Avita Home Health and Hospice, our caring professionals are ready to serve you with personally tailored services designed to meet the unique needs of each individual. When we take on a patient at Avita Home Health and Hospice, they really do feel like family. So when we take care of our family, we want to take care of the whole person. So we take care of them from our nurses, our aides, our physical, occupational, and speech therapists, but we also have people that tend to their hearts. So we have social workers, we have chaplains, and people that can help with the emotional side of their care.
At Avita Home Health and Hospice, we have a dedicated team that takes care of you. Caring for the whole person is our promise to you. From social and emotional well-being to the way the patient relates to their loved ones, we treat your family like our family.
Serving patients and their families wherever they call home, including assisted living facilities and nursing homes. Call 1-800-4NURSES to see if Avita can help administer your plan of custom care.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Welcome to Richland County's first artificial intelligence ATM. And if you car dance to the song you're listening to now, I will give you $50. See, that's something an ATM can never do.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Oh, we're serious.
Gosh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. We hope your day is a little bit better today.
Yes, thank you.
Let's go. Friday night lights. Get hot, it's Friday night. Friday night lights. Get hot, here we go now. Friday night lights. Get hot, it's Friday night. Friday night lights. Get hot, here we go now.
Please join us in the singing and playing of our national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner.
School and the Whippet Athletic Complex. Tonight, it's week 12 of the high school football season as we move into the regional quarterfinals, and tonight's game features from Division 4, the number 2 seed Shelby Whippets, who are 11-0, playing the 10 seed Ottawa-Glandorf. The Titans are 6-5. We welcome you inside the Wendy's broadcast booth, everybody. Aaron Hines alongside my partner Erik Will. WMAN tonight teaming up with our good friends at the OH.REPORT to bring you live high school playoff football on this second Friday in November. Another beautiful night. Kickoff temperature 50 degrees, upper 40s. Eric, a beautiful night. The Whippets unbeaten, and for the second straight week playing a team from the Western Buckeye League.
Yeah, and that's a great conference. We're going to get to see more of it today. Coming in, Ottawa-Glandorf, celebrating an opportunity for their girls soccer team today around 4 o'clock. So that's why we're seeing such a late crowd from them getting here. But for Shelby, pushing this thing back to 7:30 reminds me of the old days, Aaron. You and I were growing up. The old NOL days, right? When the 7:30 was the standard kickoff time. So most of your other games are moving right now. But, man, what a great night for football. Week 12 doesn't get any better than this.
Well, Eric, let's talk about it. Ottawa-Glandorf under 29th-year head coach Ken Schreiner. You look at the record 6-5, but they play in a very tough league. They're coming off a win a week ago on the road at Galleon, low-scoring game, 13-7. This team wants to run the football.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. We're going to talk about some key players here, but for me, starting off when thinking about the quarterback, Peyton Kuhlman, he comes in only with 1,412 yards passing, completing 48% of his passes, 12 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. That's not what they want to be. What they want to do is get behind the player spotlight here, Grant Evers. He comes in at 222 carries, 1,174 yards, 7 touchdowns, just a touch over 5 yards a carry. That's their recipe for success tonight, is getting that ball in his arms and getting behind that offensive line. They're not a big score. They're not a big play offense. That's not who they are. As a matter of fact, Evers' longest run on the season, Aaron, is only 50 yards.
Well, Ottawa-Glandorf averages 20 points a game as they hit the field. They allow just under 19 points a game. They rush for about 147 per week. The quarterback, Peyton Kuhlman, completing about 48% on the season, 12 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions on the year. So when you look at them, you talk about, Eric, they want to run the football. When you look at them on defense, and anybody who plays Shelby, you got to stop number 2, Braden DeVito.
That's right. You got to stop number 2, and that's one of our major keys, is you got to limit Braden DeVito on the ground. I know this sounds crazy, but it's the extras, right? You want to cage rush him, if you will, keep him in the pocket, and then you got to control the game with a physical line play. They've got to get behind that offensive line. Their recipe to win is a low-scoring game, slug it out, only averaging right around 23 points a game. If this turns into a shootout, I don't think Glandorf wants to go that route, and I don't think they can go that route, quite frankly.
Before we touch on the Whippets, Eric, I want to mention a very difficult week here in Shelby with a student passing away in an accident last weekend. They had a moment of silence for Graham Scott, and I know for this community, for this football team, you're preparing for a big game, but this has been a very, very difficult week. I know they had his family here before kickoff here tonight.
Yeah, they had a great moment out here. There was a moment of silence, and then the parents were, honorary captains, if you will, so they were part of the coin toss. It was great to be able to recognize him. And you're right, Aaron, I teach here, so, no doubt about it, it was a tough week for many students and for the coaches and the people in the community. And, girls volleyball team played last night, and, send a shout out to them for making it to the state Final Four. And then tonight you got a playoff game. So, life continues to move on, but also remembering a very important member of your community being taken, quite frankly, just way too young.
And right there, as if you maybe have seen social media here, this one's for 42. That's Graham Scott's number 42. As we get closer to kickoff, we are a little under 5 minutes away. Let's talk about the Shelby Whippets. They're under 6th-year head coach Rob Mahaney. They've had another incredible season, 11-0. They score a ton of points, averaging 38 per game, allowing just 13, beat a lot Avita a week ago, 49-21. We're going to talk about DeVito, but how about 6 touchdowns a week ago, 4 different ways.
Wow.
Ran for 2, threw for 2, caught one as a wideout, and had a pick 6 on defense. He has 52 touchdowns.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Shelby gets off early and often. And listen, number 2 is spearheading that. As I always say, you love this, Aaron. He's the straw that stirs the drink, man. Listen, 5,000 all-purpose yards. The dude's thrown for 3,100 yards, and he's rushed for another 1,172, averaging nearly 8 yards a carry. What was it, 52 or 50 total? 50 or
He has 52.
Because that's right, because he has the 2 passes that he caught last week that he's accounted for. So, listen, he's a Mr. Football candidate. There's no doubt about it. That's what Ottawa's up against tonight, is trying to stop that absolute beast behind center.
He has 4,312 total yards.
It's crazy.
Eric, he completes over 68%.
And I want to make this clear. Like, you go around the state and just look at total offenses. Braden DeVito he probably averages more yards a game accounted for by himself than most teams do in a game. So, no doubt about it. I mean, there's not enough adjectives to explain who he is.
By the way, 9 yards per carry when he runs. But talk about as Shelby hits the field here, sophomore wide receiver Brady Bowman has been incredible. I know you got some numbers on him, but a week ago he caught a 70-plus yard touchdown. DeVito dropped it in a bucket, and it was incredible. That kid has some serious speed.
Well, he kind of let himself out of the bag last year when against Ontario in that big decisive game where he caught a big-time pass down the middle, and he was kind of going to, as a freshman he did that, and he was kind of my hidden player of the year, but his name started getting out, and I'm like, man, Brady Bowman, brother of Blaine Bowman, who's one of the best receivers in the history of the school, and you look at Brady Bowman, 66 receptions for 1,241 yards, 11 touchdowns. He's averaging nearly 19 yards per catch. Listen, he's twitchy. He's got incredible hands. We've seen the variety of catch range that he has, and he is a mismatch nightmare. And if Glandorf wants to have any chance today, they've got to try to limit old number 12.
By the way, I want to talk for a moment about Shelby's defense. They allow just 13 points per ball game, and you've told me for many years, when your linebackers lead you in tackles, it's a good thing. Denny LaFon with 108, Sam Gwirtz with 101. Those two have combined for 27 TFLs. Gwirtz has 6 sacks, but those linebackers fly around and make a lot of tackles.
Yeah, and linebackers are able to fly around when you have a really good defensive line, which is one of our keys to the victory today for Shelby. Defensive line must play physical. You have to demand double teams. Double teams mean that your backers can flow to the ball. When your defense is operating properly, the linebackers should be leading your teams in tackles. And obviously for Shelby, and you know this, Aaron, a fast start, because that's what they do. And I know you've got some numbers to share as well with Shelby's fast starts. But I'll tell you what, when you think about Shelby, you think about DeVito and Bowman, and then they mix in, as I would always say, the all you others. They get themselves involved. And I'll tell you what, when Shelby gets rolling, they're tough to beat. And listen, Glandorf cannot have this be a shootout. If Shelby gets up, 14 points early, that is not a good recipe. Having said that, on paper, this looks one way, but we got to play it out and see how it goes.
Shelby averages 21 points per game in the first half. They've had big leads. Can they get out to a fast start tonight? They won the toss. They deferred. They will kick it off, and as you see, a little line drive kick that'll be caught at the 45-yard line by Ottawa-Glandorf, so they will have terrific field position as Michael Shepard kind of angled that to the right. It took a hop right into the arms of the special teams player, and the Titans have terrific field position at their own 45-yard line.
Yeah, Will Kuhlman right there, the junior coming in, the 6 foot, 170-pound junior, doing a nice job of being alive. And, half the time I don't even know if Shelby knows what they're doing when they kick. I think it's kind of a random, you show up and see where the ball goes.
The quarterback is Peyton Kuhlman. He is in the gun, and they run it a lot from a spread formation as we get set for football here tonight. And the first snap of the game, I believe we have an equipment issue on the wide receiver, Metzger, on the far side of the field. He's going to go off the field.
Yeah, getting dismissed, so that means Glandorf better bring somebody else out onto the field. So here we go. They're going to reset that play clock here, and it's starting from 22 and working its way down. And, Aaron, listen, Shelby, you've got to create advantageous advantageous situations defensively by keeping them in 3rd and long. How do you do that? Keep them off schedule. You got to stay away from those 2nd and mediums and 2nd and shorts.
2 seconds into the game, first play from scrimmage, 1st and 10 from their own 45. They'll hand the football off to the near side. This is the running back who will plow his way near midfield. He'll get there on the carry. That is Grant Evers, as Eric mentioned, the senior running back. He's a good-sized kid, Eric, and he's had a really nice year for Ottawa-Glandorf. You look at the numbers, he's 6 feet, 200 pounds, more than 1,100 yards rushing. And Eric, he averages just a touch, as you mentioned, over 5 per carry.
Yeah, and that right there is just a little bit of power, right? So it looks like it's stretched, but it's designed for the running back to see the hole, put his foot in the ground, and get vertical. Listen, 5 yards of play, they'll take that. So if you're Glandorf, you're right on schedule there.
2nd down and 5 from midfield. 40 seconds into the football game. We are scoreless, and it looked like the receiver on the near side of the field moved early. That was Deegan Miller, the sophomore. It'll be a 5-yard penalty, and Ottawa-Glandorf, who had that 5-yard gain, will lose that and back them up. It'll be 2nd down and 10 coming up from their own 45-yard line. 11-12 to play, opening quarter. We are just underway here at the Whippet Athletic Complex. Winner of this game moves on to the regional semifinals. They will face the winner of Clyde and Ontario. It's 14-0 Ontario in the second quarter.
Go get 'em, Warriors.
In this stadium.
And here's the thing, Aaron, and that's what Shelby needed right there, right? Now you kick him back to a 2nd and long.
2nd down and 10. They'll snap the football. They'll fake the handoff. The quarterback will load up and throw it, and it's going to hang up into the air, and it's going to be caught at around the 29-yard line. It was floating up into the air. The receiver able to bring it down. That was Deegan Miller. As the quarterback, actually wasn't the quarterback, that was Carson Yeager, the backup quarterback, the sophomore. That one hung in the air forever. They'll catch it at the Whippet 28.
Yeah, and that ball was terribly underthrown, to be quite honest with you. But listen, man, that stuff works. DeVito is in perfect form. Listen, they're playing man. So he's turning into, you have your zone turn, you have your man turn. That's a man turn right there. DeVito just, you just got to locate the ball and come back, and the receiver was able to make the adjustment better than DeVito.
1st and 10 at the Whippet 28-yard line. They'll hand it off to Evers on the near side. He'll make one man miss, and then Denny LaFon will ride it to the turf at the 20-yard line. So it's about an 8-yard gain there for Grant Evers.
And listen, Aaron, all that is basically outside power. I mean, that's all it is. It's about numbers. So if you're Shelby, all you have to do is major in analytics tonight to understand what they try to do to get the extra blocker. As you're watching, they're pulling that backside guard around, and then they have that H-back in there as well. So that gets you 2 extra hats to the ball. So Shelby's got to continue to make sure that their numbers are matching up on both sides.
2nd down and 2, just around the Whippet 20-yard. They'll hand it off right side. Good job by the defense. Again, that was Evers, and it was tough sledding off that right side, Eric. At first, you thought maybe he would have some room, but the Shelby defense right there to take him down. I believe it was Gwertz that slowed him up first.
Yeah, it was Gwertz first that slowed him up, and then LaFon made the tackle. But here we go. You got a 3rd and 2, and this is exactly where Glandorf wants to be. You have to understand, you're most likely in 4-down territory here. They're thinking 2 plays here, and got a little bit of a helmet issue down here. It looks like
I think that's
had a corner come off.
Cole Dorsey's coming off. They're going to bring Caden Price on, and Shelby, I believe, is going to burn a timeout, I believe.
Yeah, I think Shelby's staff's not real happy about that, because normally when there's a helmet issue and you take it off, they'll stop play. I'm not 100% sure the officials even saw that there was a helmet issue. It looked like it was Cole Dorsey having a helmet issue there, number 25. If I'm Coach Mahaney, I'm not happy about that. I don't want to burn a timeout this early.
We'll keep it right here. This may not be a long timeout. It's a big 3rd and 2 coming up for Ottawa-Glandorf at Shelby's 20-yard line. 9:06 to play. Opening quarter, we are scoreless. High school football tonight on WMAN, driven by the Buckeye Superstore. State Route 39 in Shelby, home of the Low Payment Kings. BuckeyeSuperstore.com. We're glad to be joined and teaming up with our friends at the OH Report. High school football regional quarterfinals. Another dynamite weather night. I'll tell you what, this press box is beautiful. It's really not bad outside either.
No, it feels good outside. Listen, man, it doesn't get any better than this. You complain about this, you're living too good of a life, man, because I'm telling you, this is great football weather right here.
It's been a warmer fall, and we have enjoyed every minute of it. As out of the timeout, Ottawa-Glandorf, as Eric mentioned, you would feel this is going to be 4-down territory. They have it 3rd and 2 at Shelby's 20-yard line.
And if you watch, pay attention to the formation because you're going to see they move number 14 around. That's their
Vinny
H-back.
Brinkman. Yeah,
Brinkman will move around. He's the extra blocker because every time Glandorf runs the ball, you're seeing one of the two, if not both guards, pull.
9:06 to play, opening quarter. We are scoreless, waiting for the official to give us word to go. Again, 3rd and 2, Ottawa-Glandorf football at Shelby's 20-yard line. We'll keep you up to date on all the scores at the North Central State College High School football scoreboard at our website. Last report, again, it was Ontario 14 and Clyde nothing.
I think these guys are just, maybe the officials are impressed with the spread that we have up here to eat, and they're, it is unbelievable.
Yeah, some great food brought up here tonight, and I don't exactly know.
I don't know
what we're waiting on,
I don't
actually.
know. Yeah, because the clocks are ready to go. Everything looks good. I'll tell you what. Listen, we teamed up with the OH.REPORT today, and Brian sent his best. Our producer today, Jory, she's taking care of us.
So we're in good hands.
We're in great hands, man. Yeah. So all the replays, everything you're getting, that's coming from Jory and her crew, and we're glad to team up with them. I always love doing this. It's actually nice for us too because we actually get the real-time replay, so it helps us as well.
Yeah, it's always terrific to team up with the OH.REPORT as we again are awaiting action here. We can tell you Ashland leads St. Francis de Sales 14-7 in the second quarter. Lexington, Rocky River, they are tied 7-7 second quarter. And we'll try to keep you up to date with all the scores from across the area. How about Hillsdale up 29-0 on Wyndham in the first quarter?
Dude, that Hillsdale team's legit. Like, they're really good, man.
How about Danville? They're up 30-0. And
what do we got going on?
I don't know what we have going on.
I don't know.
Danville's up 30-0 on Notre Dame in the opening quarter. Colonel Crawford trailing Grandview Heights 13-3. We are just underway, and I believe they have actually, Eric, set the football ready for play. Clock is running, so we had a long stoppage, and here we go. 8:45 to play, opening quarter, scoreless. Ottawa-Glandorf 3rd and 2 at Shelby's 20-yard line. The quarterback, Kuhlman, is in the gun with the back to his left. 2 wide receivers out wide left. Shelby nearly jumped across the line. They'll hand the football off. The running back looks like he may have the first down. He plows ahead. Grant Evers has about 2 yards. He needed to. Does he have the first down? And I believe he does.
He's got it. Yeah,
that is a home and kitchen supply first down. Remodeling windows, doors, floors, and more. They should always be your first call. Home and kitchen supply, North Diamond Street in downtown Mansfield. He needed 2 and he got 3.
Yeah, and Carson home there. Carson's had the twitches here a little bit, the yips as they would say. He gets in he gets that hand in the ground. He's almost jumped. I thought he was offsides there. I thought that could have been a free 5 because there was no doubt before the ball that snapped he was in the neutral zone. I think Shelby got a little bit of a gift there.
Glandorf inside the Shakely Mechanical red zone. 1st and 10 at the Whippets 17. The quarterback's going to roll out, throw a dart to the receiver. Caught it at the 6-yard line. Breaks a tackle near the goal line. He will stretch across and score. That is a 17-yard touchdown as they got the football to Deegan Miller. And the Titans not known for throwing the football.
Nope.
And that was the sophomore Yeager on the throw. And the Titans are on the scoreboard first. He just rolled out and threw a dart.
Well, I'll tell you what. Obviously, they've made a little bit of a decision here to change up who the old signal caller is, right? We've seen Carson Yeager. The first pass was tremendously underthrown. That one was thrown on time, on target. And then, man, how about that second and third effort to get in? And for the second week in a row, man, Shelby playing from behind early.
And we will have the point after now coming up for Ottawa-Glandorf. As we mentioned, they got the football at their own 45-yard line. And they go down the field, and a lot of it, as Eric mentioned, was via the air. They will have the extra point by Cooper Fisher, the junior. He's lined up. There's the snap. The kick is on the way, and that kick, just like Mill Iron Auto Parts, is up and good. It's a good idea to stop by Mill Iron Auto Parts. You'll receive top dollar for your used vehicle. Mill Iron supporting local high school athletics. We'll step aside. 7:56 to play, opening quarter. Ottawa-Glandorf 7, Shelby nothing. Back in a minute. You're listening to high school playoff football on WMAN.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
Back in Shelby, where Ottawa-Glandorf takes the opening drive, 55 yards for a touchdown, and it was not mostly on the ground like you might thought. It was via the air. The kickoff is actually going to be angled and go out of bounds, Eric, so the Whippets will have good starting field position on their opening drive. And for the second time in 2 weeks in the postseason, the Whippets play from behind.
Yeah, and man, I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on. I mean, you know, there's been a couple different times that's happened. They've kind of got behind early. Normally their offense, obviously, as potent as we know it is, they generally put points up pretty easily, but you can't take that for granted. The further you get in the playoffs, man, you don't want to be playing from behind like that. And with a team like Glandorf, it is a must that they have to play from in front, because if they get behind, they don't have that high-octane offense, although we have seen a little bit of pass, a little life breathe back into that passing offense with Carson Yeager.
Yeah, he's made some nice passes. Braden DeVito and company will start at their own 35-yard line. They'll bring Brady Bowman in motion. They'll hand him the football. He'll turn the corner, and a good tackle by Will Kuhlman, the junior linebacker, up to make the stop. It'll be a short gain of a couple yards. Put him just across the 37, maybe near the 38. Actually, put him on the 38.
Yeah, and that's a great job by the corner there, number 17, Gage Bellman for Ottawa-Glandorf. He came off his initial receiver because you think you're getting press man, and he ends up being the force player out there and holding that to a 3-yard play. Without him out there reading that correctly, that could have went for much more. 3 wide receivers left. DeVito is now going to go out as a wide receiver. The quarterback will take the snap, was ice, he'll throw it to DeVito. He'll make one man miss, make another across the 40-45 near the first down. He may have it. Let's see. He's really close, as the Whippets love to use those trick plays, and they will say that is a home and kitchen supply. First down, DeVito can run it, can throw it, and oh, by the way, he can catch it and run too. That's right. You're using Nick Geister there. Listen, he's a pitcher, man. He can throw a ball. So they play, they as they would say, tinker with it and practice, and then they come out here and run it. They do more trick plays in a game, I think, maybe than what I called my entire 6-7 years coaching football here as a head coach. 7-0 Ottawa-Glandorf, just under 7 to play opening quarter. Whippets first and 10 from their own 45. DeVito back to pass, looking, will throw one over the middle, got a receiver caught and got drilled at the Ottawa-Glandorf 45-yard line, as it was Eister. No, I'm sorry, it was not Eister on the catch. Caden Price, I believe.
That's Brock Fisher.
Or Brock Fisher,
Brock
sorry.
Fisher,
Yeah.
number 8 on the catch. At the 45-yard line, got drilled by Vinny Brinkman, the linebacker, one of their top tacklers, but that's another first down, and DeVito had all the time in the world, Eric, there in the pocket. Yeah, and Brinkman's also that H-back that I was telling you about, so he likes to put his DNA on you. He likes to put those shoulder pads right in your chest. Whippets first and 10 at the Titan 45-yard line. 4 wide receivers. DeVito's going to run it right side, and he'll go behind the blockers inside the 40 and down near the 39-yard line, so about 6 yards for Braden DeVito on first down. 6 to play, opening quarter, 7-0 Ottawa-Glandorf. Glad to have you tonight from the Wendy's broadcast booth tonight, where, tell you what, we talked about this earlier, not many times do you get a 7-game, I guess, 7 home games in a season. Oh, yeah. This is the 7th one for Shelby tonight. That doesn't happen very often. And Shelby hasn't lost a home game since we called that Ontario game on that little pop pass. So Shelby, I believe, has won 12 straight home games. Okay, that's a good point to make. But, yeah, 7 home games in a season is very nice. Handoff to Gumbird, and it'll be 8 and up as knifing in was the big guy on the line. That was Dylan Siefker, the senior, 6'2", 230 pounds, just ate up Gumbert. He had no chance on that one.
Yeah, that's a great job by him and, number 14, Vinny Brinkman there. They both ate that. That linebacker shot that window. Listen, when you play linebacker, there's a term, two terms that you care about: open, closed window. If you get an open window, Aaron, you shoot that gap. If it's closed, then you continue to play over top and scrape. He got an open window read and just greeted him rudely.
3rd and 7 for Shelby. They lost some yardage there. They'll throw right side. Bowman makes one and miss. Breaks a tackle inside the 30 and down near the 25-yard line. You get Brady Bowman and that speed going in motion.
Yeah.
Get him the football, Eric. It's like he shot out of a cannon. The Whippets have it 1st and 10 at the Titan 25.
Hey, Brady Bowman, man, quicker than 2 cats out there. And, like I said, when he goes in motion, you got to be careful, too, because you react up to that, but his speed is deceptive. We know he's fast, but I think he even plays faster, and it's hard for the defense to react that, because if you come up too quick, they're going to hit you over the top.
4 wide receivers. They'll move Bowman in motion, pitch him the football left side, tries to get the corner. Great tackle as he tried to fight his way out of that tackle, but a terrific play by one of the defenders there for Ottawa-Glandorf. We have actually one of the Titans is actually down on the field. They pitched it left side. I think it was Kuhlman. Yeah, it was. It was Kuhlman again, Will Kuhlman, who came off the blocker to make that tackle. And it's going to be a loss back at around the 26-yard line.
Yeah, and man, their defense is really aggressive coming up. So that means that your screens, your draws, some of those things you're going to hit later when you get that same motion. Remember, Coach Mahaney, Coach Helbert are fantastic at calling, scripting their first 10 to 15 plays. They're getting you set up. Number one, they're seeing what your defense adjustments were, how are you lining up the different formations, and then it's setting up something that they're going to run later in the game. So remember, all of this, it's a puzzle, it's a painting. So each time they're putting that brush stroke against the canvas, there's more of a picture revealed to them, and they're going to hit you later with things that they're setting up.
Again, we have an injury on the field for Ottawa-Glandorf as one of the players is down, and they are out attending to him. Didn't see the play. He was away from the play in terms of the tackle on Bowman, and the good news is he is getting up and is going to walk off the field. So that is terrific news for Ottawa-Glandorf. That's Dylan Siefker, the lineman, Eric. He made a really nice tackle on this drive, and he's able to walk off the field with 4:15 to play here in quarter number 1. It is 7-0. Ottawa-Glandorf. Shelby is driving. They just lost a yard on that last play, so 2nd down 11 football. It's at the Titan 26-yard line. Again, Ottawa-Glandorf playing in the Western Buckeye League. You look at the record where they are 6-5, but you and I, Wapakoneta, all those really good, tough, physical football.
Defiant, Shawnee.
So you feel that you don't, and I know Coach Mahaney, he knows how tough that conference is.
Right.
A team that's 6-5, maybe in other conferences could be maybe even 7-3 or something like that. That's a tough league.
No doubt about it.
All right, here we go. Whippets 2nd and 11 from the Titan 26-yard line. Bowman in motion. DeVito back to pass. They'll throw a little screen left side. This is the running back Gumbert. 20-yard line, gets drilled at the 15, takes the tackler for a couple more yards down near the 13-yard line. And again, a nice screen catch there by junior running back Marcus Gumbert.
Yeah, great job, Albert. I'll tell you what, Booker, number 55, absolutely knocked out that secondary player. That is listen, when you're a big guy and you get to go after the little skinny guys and you finally get to put your body against theirs, those guys love it, man, because they're always like, man, I can never catch those guys. And Booker caught him, I'll tell you that.
And as the 4th home and kitchen supply, 1st down, 1st and 10 at the 13 of Ottawa-Glandorf. Quick pass right side. This is Bowman. Bowman near the 5-yard line, and he'll go down near the 4. A quick pass again. DeVito just snaps it, turns to the right, fires to Bowman. That speed, Eric, down near the 4-yard line, and they tried to rip it out there. Gage Bellman did good job there, hanging on to the football, and the Whippets now have it 2nd down at about a yard at the 4. DeVito's going to fire it left side. He's got it to Bowman, got hit at the 2, and he'll bounce off the tackler and into the end zone for a Shelby touchdown, but hang on.
Yeah, I think they're going to call the hold out there on
Penalty,
Price.
yeah, penalty marker, and they are going to call a hold.
Yeah.
Tell you what, Bowman fought right through the tackler.
Right.
But it is going to be a hold on the Whippets, so wipe that touchdown off the board. It'll be a penalty on Shelby.
Yeah, and both officials called it. The actual referee called it. The side judge called it, so they both saw the same thing. So he obviously got a little handsy. Listen, once again, you coach hold, or you actually coach holding, but that holding's got to be inside. You got to get underneath the shoulder pads around the numbers. As soon as your arms extend to those shoulder pads, that flag is coming out every single time. So people don't realize when you're running the amount of lateral game that Shelby runs, that puts a lot of pressure on your wide receivers to be good blockers, which means that you have to be a very unselfish group.
It is second down now and 10 from the 13-yard line. Handoff to Gumbert. He'll break one tackle inside the 10, down near the 5-yard line. Actually, a little further than that, inside the 5, down near the 4. Junior running back Marcus Gumbert with a couple of terrific plays on this drive.
Yes, Adrian Ream there, the right tackle for Shelby, coming through on the pull on that little power series. And listen, how do you decide if the guard or tackle's pulling? Well, it decides on, what kind of technique you have over you. So sometimes what you'll do is you'll block out, wrap the tackle around. If you have a 3 technique, so that would be on the outside shoulder of the guard, then what you do is you pull that tackle around because you don't want to expose that gap when the guard would leave. The defensive lineman would shoot that gap.
3rd and 1 Shelby at the Ottawa-Glandorf 4-yard line. 2:28 to play, opening quarter. It is 7-0. Ottawa-Glandorf Whippets knocking on the door. 3 wide receivers wide to the right, a back beside DeVito, who's in the gun. DeVito will hand it. Denny LaFon up the middle. Denny LaFon dives, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown Shelby Whippets on a 4-yard run by senior running back, outstanding linebacker as well, Denny LaFon into the end zone.
Denny LaFon's their short yardage guy, and on that play when he scored that touchdown, it became Denny LaFon, getting into the end zone there, getting his name called. And listen, number 30, one of the leading tacklers on the football team, when his number's called in there, he gets to lower those shoulder pads. Remember, he's a wrestler as well, so he likes that contact, and as they say, dynamite comes in small packages, Aaron.
I'll tell you what, I think Denny LaFon could catch on. That's got a nice ring to it.
Yeah.
2:15 to play here in quarter number 1. The Whippets, will they go for 2? We know they have struggled in the extra point department. They've converted 10 two-point conversions this season.
It's an adventure every time they kick. Let's just say that.
They look like they were going to go for 2, and now they're going to line up to go for the extra point. Stairs is on. There's the snap. The kick is blocked. It is no good. Knifing through and getting a paw on it was Jaden Steck-Schulte, their leading tackler. And so Ottawa-Glandorf will hang on to the lead. We'll step aside. 2:15 to play here in quarter number 1. It's Ottawa-Glandorf 7 and Shelby 6. We'll take a break and be back. You're listening to high school football on WMAN.
Welcome to Richland County's first artificial intelligence ATM. And if you car dance to the song you're listening to now, I will give you $50. See, that's something an ATM can never do.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Oh, we're serious.
Gosh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. We hope your day is a little bit better today.
Yes, thank you.
Deegan Miller with the kickoff return.
Welcome back to Shelby and the beautiful Whippet Athletic Complex with a 7-6 lead. Ottawa-Glandorf kickoff from the Shelby Whippets will have the football with decent starting field position. They'll start inside their own 30-yard line at the 28. And Eric, let's just revisit Shelby down the field, 4-yard touchdown run. But we mentioned, they've struggled in the extra point department this season. You just kind of feel, boy, you might just want to start going for 2.
Well, when I coached against Bellevue 6 years, actually 7 games in 6 years. I don't think they tried an extra point once. Now, if you have a kicker that's consistent, you feel good about it, you kick it. If not, just scrap it, go for 2. Don't try to fit a square peg in a round hole. If you can't kick them, you can't kick them.
So Ottawa-Glandorf with a 1-point lead, their second possession, 7-6. Just over 2 to play here in quarter number 1. Back to pass. Again, this is the quarterback. He drops back. He got hit as he threw the ball. Will sail well over the receiver and the defensive backs by a good 10 yards.
Yeah, Kyler Williams got a good lick on
I was
him
going to say, as soon as the quarterback let it go, he got drilled by that pass rush.
Now, that looked a little bit more like the pass game that we thought coming in, but we thought it was going to probably be Kuhlman, but Kuhlman, we haven't seen him. So they've gone to the sophomore here,
He was
Carson Yeager.
Yeah, he was there the first snap or 2,
Yeah,
but yes,
and
since
that's
then
it.
you mentioned they've went to Yeager, the quarterback, again, who is in the gun on 2nd and 10 from their own 28-yard line. The Whippets may have jumped on the far side of the field unless somebody on the offense moved first.
Yeah,
that's possible.
They're
because
saying that right tackle moved.
I was going to say, I think I see one of the Whippets on the far side mentioning that somebody moved.
Yep.
And so that will back up Ottawa-Glandorf. So Shelby's defense would love to get a quick stop here and get that ball back to the offense. 2:02 to play, opening quarter. Again, Division 4, Region 14 quarterfinal. It is 7-6 Ottawa-Glandorf on top of Shelby. Early on, we'll get you an Ontario update. The Warriors looking good early second quarter as Yeager will hand the football off up the middle. Denny LaFon will grab the running back across the 25 out near the 27-yard line. And good run right there again by the running back Evers.
And a little, on that replay, you could see it, number 74, Braden Schardiger. He shot the gap. Listen, you coach that to go heel depth. He actually took himself out of the play. The guard almost could have just wrapped around and went up to the second level because number 74, Schardiger, went too far upfield. I love the aggressiveness, but it's got to be controlled. Now, this is huge because you've put them in a major passing situation.
That was Brinkman, by the way, on the run. 3rd and 10, and as they go to snap the football, Shelby again looked like they may have jumped off sides.
Yeah,
boy, that's not what you want to do, Eric, on a 3rd and 10. Now it makes it much more manageable for Ottawa-Glandorf. Again, they're a team that's traditionally run the football. They've thrown it a lot here, but 3rd and 5, you feel they can do what they want in their playbook now.
And to be honest, now they can run the football. And here's the thing, I never understood it. You're right next to the ball. Look at the football. The football's the trigger. Quit paying attention to the cadence. Watch the ball.
3rd and 5, Ottawa-Glandorf, their own 33-yard line. Back to pass. A little screen is going to be caught. The receiver is not going to have the first down. Good job, Kyler Williams and company, as the Whippets able to take Miller down.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was a nice job between Sam Gwertz and the corner out there. Didn't get a number on that. That was a pretty good job out there. Is that number 8 out there? Is that Brock Fisher playing corner?
I believe so.
Yeah, so that was a nice job by both of them. And they're punting the ball. I'm almost surprised they're not going for this. Yeah, I'm almost surprised they're not going for this because it's a 4th and 1. And until Shelby stops them for a no gain, I just run the football.
Caden Fenberg is back to punt. He will boot it away. The Whippets will get it back. It'll hit at the 30-yard line.
Look at that thing.
And they will let it roll inside the 20, 15, rolling inside the 10-yard line. They'll touch it up just inside the 10, and with 14 seconds to play in the opening quarter, 7-6 Ottawa-Glandorf on top of Shelby. And I know for you love when guys go up and field those punts because you gain 15, 20 yards.
On turf, the old rule used to be for every time the ball hits ground, you lose a first down. On turf, I think it's 2 first downs. I am an advocate of you are back there for a reason. If you don't feel comfortable returning it, fair catch it, save the roll. Listen, you just lost 20 yards on that roll. Now listen, Shelby's offense is normally good enough to figure it out. But I'm telling you, every last piece of yardage in real estate matters. Fair catch the football. That's why you're back there.
Ontario 28, Clyde nothing. Second quarter from Ontario. Handoff for the Whippets again. 1st and 10 at their own 9-yard line. Marcus Gumbert will go right side across the 15 and out near the 17. He'll get about 8 yards, and that'll be the final play of the quarter. We'll step aside. 1 quarter in the books in the regional quarterfinal. After 1, Ottawa-Glandorf 7 and Shelby 6. We'll take a break. Back in a minute. You're listening to high school playoff football on WMAN.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
One quarter in the books from the Whippet Athletic Complex, and it is exactly 8 o'clock. You're listening to WMAN Mansfield, WMAN FM Fredericktown, WMAN and the OH Report teaming up tonight for live high school playoff football. Eric, that quarter flew by, and you know, with the way Ottawa-Glandorf wants to have low possessions, everyone is going to be so critical in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, and Shelby doing a lot of their damage between the ground and the short pass game.
2nd and 2 from the 17. DeVito back to pass, pump fake, no, rolling around, still rolling around. Back at around the 5-yard line. He's going to load up, throw one to around the 43-yard line, and it's going to be caught. The wide receiver, Nick Eister, comes back to make the catch. They'll put him down at the 41-yard line as momentum brought him back. But again, DeVito all kind of time, and he has a lot of weapons at wide receiver, and Nick Eister's had a great senior year.
That's Patrick Mahomes-esque is what that was. Listen, you don't coach that. Like, did you see that defensive lineman had no chance. He was just out there playing. It was a dance, man. It was a little waltz, and Braden DeVito won it, and he brought quite the dancing shoes.
1st and 10 at the 41. He's going to dance again to the left, now up the middle. He'll kind of squirt his way across the 45 and out near the 47-yard line. DeVito goes for 6 yards, and the thing that makes DeVito so difficult is he can do so much out of the pocket. He's so accurate throwing on the run. It's what makes him at time unguardable.
Yeah, it was funny on that play, you know, because he's dancing around, picked up 6 yards. You know, it is QB power, and it was funny because looking at that, Caleb Stairs was kind of running around almost like waiting to see where he was going to go, so figure out who he could block.
2nd and 4, Shelby at the 47-yard line. DeVito right side turns on the Jets into Ottawa-Glandorf territory inside the 40 and tackled to the turf at the Titan 37-yard line. DeVito, home and kitchen supply, first down number 6 for the Whippets, and DeVito really making his imprint here in the 2nd quarter running the football.
Yeah, I mean, would you expect anything less? You know, between the arm and the legs, man. Like I said, he's the best football player in the area, in my opinion. The yards and the statistics back it up. Like I said, true Mr. Football candidate when you're talking about 52 touchdowns accounted for, Aaron. And then you turn around and look at his legs. He's going to be over 1,200 yards before the end of this game.
10:20 to play, 2nd quarter. Shelby down a point, 7-6. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line of Ottawa-Glandorf. Handoff to the running back. This is the junior, and that's Marcus Gumbert. A very short gain off the right side. Give him close to 2 yards. The knee may have went down shy. No, they're going to put him right on the 35.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
give him 2.
Yeah, and that right there. Listen, the reason Gumbert's not a big guy. He's twitchy. He's not going to break a lot of tackles, but if you give him a crease, he's got decent speed. So why does Gumbert? It's kind of like you have a great running back, which allows your quarterback to run. That's not the case here. DeVito's so good, it actually helps Gumbert's run game.
9:42 to play, 2nd quarter. 4 wide receivers on 2nd and 8 from the Titan 35. DeVito spins, fires a dart, caught by sophomore Brady Bowman down near the 20-yard line. He'll stay in bounds along the sideline and get down near the 17. How about DeVito just spinning around and firing a dart to Bowman?
Yeah, and that little play there when he does that little reverse rollout, what that does is that invites the rush in, and then it allows the pin, that they call it a pin, that block, that technique out there. And then DeVito just wraps around, and man, Brady, those two are just in sync. You know what I mean? Think about it, man. You're going to have to deal with both those two next year as well.
That's right. 1st and 10. Shelby inside the Shakely Mechanical red zone at the 17 of Ottawa-Glandorf. Handoff, and the running back Gumbert had a hole to run through, but stumbles forward, and he'll get 2 yards down to the 15-yard line. You really felt there was more room if he doesn't stumble.
No doubt about it. He kind of stumbled in the backfield. He was, picking up 2 yards there, but that thing was blocked well, and he had the crease. And like I said, that's his game. You get him to the second level, he can do some damage here. But, Shelby inside that red zone here, they can get really creative. This is when Coach Halbert and Coach Mahaney get in that laboratory, man, and they really put some concoctions together to give you something fun to watch.
8:58 to play, second quarter, 2nd and 8 from the Glandorf 15-yard line. DeVito up the middle, makes one man miss, gets inside the 10 and down near the 5-yard line. DeVito runs for 10. Home and Kitchen Supply first down, and sometimes you just say it's not fair, man. That guy's hard to tackle.
Yeah, he's like what do they call it? He's got the human cheat code jumping over his
jump cut, huh?
Yeah, jumping over his guard there. And it's funny because you could tell that the linebacker wanted to get a hold of him. So here we are at the 5-yard line, first down and goal, and Shelby's got to capitalize on this here. They've had a really nice drive. They mixed the run and the pass up. And I think that's why Shelby's so good. I think, in my opinion, defensively, keep everything in front of you. You got to do your best to try to keep them one-dimensional. It's just hard to do.
8:22 to go until halftime. Shelby first and goal from the 5. DeVito back to pass. He's going to run, and he will be taken down, as there was just absolutely nowhere to go there. He went right side, and a terrific job by Ottawa-Glandorf coming up to make that stop. It's actually going to be a short loss.
Yeah, and that's okay. Listen, that's self-preservation. Don't take an unneeded hit. That's a perfect example of a junior that's played a ton of football that realizes that play's dead. Don't make it worse than it is. There's nothing there. And that's why, sometimes people are like, oh, man, what are you doing? You got to preserve yourself. Know when they've out-schemed you and outplayed you.
I think that was Dane Dooling, the defensive lineman there on the stop. 3-yard loss. Shelby second and goal from the Glandorf 8. Handoff right side. This is Gumbert. Tries to bounce it to the outside, and there is nowhere to go there, and he'll be shoved out of bounds. Another terrific play by Ottawa-Glandorf. He tried to bounce it to the outside, Eric, and there was just nowhere to go on the outside, and they shove him into the sideline. Might have got a short game, but not much.
Yeah, that right there was Grant Evers, the running back, forcing him out of bounds. And, Shelby, the last 2 plays is either they've been stuck in neutral or have lost some yards. So.
That was a 1-yard gain to the 7. So 3rd and goal, Shelby at the Ottawa-Glandorf 7-yard line. 7:33 to play until halftime. 7-6 the lead for Ottawa-Glandorf. We'll hand out that Spitzer Motors game changer coming up in the postgame show.
And pay attention to number 3 here. This is where Michael Shepard really has an influence in the game from that H position.
4 wide receivers. DeVito will spin, roll to the left. He'll fire a dart into the end zone and knocked away. Getting a paw on it was Gage Bellman, the defensive back. He had Caden Price in the corner of the end zone, but a terrific job as Gage Bellman got a hand on it and knocks it away. It'll be 4th and goal, Shelby at the Ottawa-Glandorf 7-yard line.
Yeah, and that's great defense right there. You got to credit the DB right there. That's an excellent jump there by Bellman. That right there was from that situation. You tell your receiver to get about 2 yards in the end zone and then kind of work back to the pylon. The coverage was good. Throw might have been a touch late, but here we go. We got ourselves a big 4th down too.
Shelby down a point, 4th and goal, second quarter at the Ottawa-Glandorf 7-yard line. 4 wide receivers, 3 to the left. DeVito in the gun. He'll spin around, look at Coach Mahaney, who is going to burn a timeout. We're going to keep it here just in case this is not a very lengthy timeout. This is a big play in this football game. 7:26 to play until halftime. It's Ottawa-Glandorf 7 and Shelby 6. Glad to have you again tonight from the Whippet Athletic Complex. After the game, we'll also hand out some free pizza from the Heck Law offices. Jeff Heck, Jeff Stifler, Mansfield's Injury Lawyers. You can get a free consultation at HeckLawOffices.com. We mentioned the Spitzer Motors Game Changer. We've been handing that out for years. Last week, our Game Changer, courtesy of Spitzer Motors, was a defensive lineman. Remember last week?
Yeah.
He blocked the punt. It was tremendous for Ontario.
Play of the game.
Play of the game, and it really swung the momentum. And you can think about this game right now. Shelby's down a point here, Eric, but you think about it. If you're Ottawa, I mean, it's big both ways. If Shelby scores, momentum, they have the lead. If Ottawa-Glandorf gets the stop, that's a huge stop.
Right, and then that's when they get back to the run game. The last couple times Glandorf struggled, they've had that full start. They've had some type of procedure that's kicked them back. And, listen, Shelby's perfectly fine with a 4th down and 7. I'm telling you, they've got that in the playbook. They're going to get creative here, and it's going to be interesting. So if you're Glandorf, It looks like you're getting man. Now, because they're in a bunch set here, you're going to play what comes to you down here to the bottom of your screen.
A bunch to the left, 2 to the right. They'll bring a man in motion. That's Bowman, 4 receivers left. DeVito back to pass. He'll look left. He'll throw a dart. It's caught. No, it's not. Off the hand of the receiver. Incomplete. And Ottawa-Glandorf holds on defense. I believe they were going for Bowman there in the end zone.
Yeah, that's kind of an old arrow route. What you do is you kind of fake out and then you come back in. Defense, great there. That was an excellent job. Listen, that's where you don't want to play press. Let that bunch break up and just play what comes to you. Perfect defense there by Ottawa-Glandorf. Listen, we talked about this at the opening, but understand this. Glandorf does lead the WBL in total defense. So because of that, they're gonna make those types of plays. They have the ability to do that, and they've played some pretty darn good offenses in that league.
They have, as you mentioned. They take over 1st and 10 at their own 7-yard line, leading 7-6. They'll run the football left side.
Woo!
And the running back will actually break a tackle off the left side, Evers, and work his way across the 10.
Yeah, that's Nick Eister going down there. He's coming from his safety position, and watch, boom. That right there, that's running with bad intentions right there. I like old number 18, Grant Evers. That's how you run the football, 6 foot, 200 pounds. That's what, listen, when a coach says good forward lean and run behind your shoulder pads, you got to show that right there. That's the film right there. That is an excellent run to pick up 6 yards there.
Yeah, he lowered the shoulder. Give him 7 officially. Yeah. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Remember, he's ran for better than 1,100 yards. Good-sized kid, 6 feet even, 200 pounds. Not going to go down easily. Under 7 to play until halftime. 7-6, Ottawa-Glandorf, 2nd and 3 at their own 14-yard line. 2 wide receivers, 1 each way. The quarterback will hand it, working at left side of the running back, and he's going to get a first down left side across the 20. Knocked out of bounds near the 23-yard line. Again, Grant Evers off the left side, and one thing you knew coming into this game, Ottawa-Glandorf wants to control the game on the ground and the clock, and they're doing that right now.
Yeah, and that's not good when you're seeing your linebackers look on skates there. Sam Gord's kind of getting rolled back, looked like he was on ice skates. That can't happen. Backers got to be playing forward. But listen, there's 2 ways to look at this. There's a pass strength that's to the field. Aaron, the run strength is to the sideline or the short side of the field. And listen, so if you're Glandorf here, that's working out really well for you. Shelby's not meeting the numbers there on that side.
1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line. They'll hand the football off this
there
time.
It goes.
And the big guy in the middle, Braden Schardinger, grabs the running back and slings him back for a loss back at around the 18.
Yeah, that right there, Schardiger's play side. So you're seeing that guard come across. He's just late. So there you go. See that? Boom. The guard's late. And there you go. Schardiger just beat them to the play. So your guard has got to have his eyes up. First off, he was also slow getting out of his stance. When that ball, man, you got to be twitchy. That guard's got to get up and get moving and expect that 3 technique there. That's a simple kick out, and you got yourself a play. But credit Schardiger from Shelby, man. What an absolute play shooting that gap.
2-yard loss, 2nd and 12, Ottawa-Glandorf at their own 19-yard line, up by a point on Shelby. 6 minutes to play until halftime. Pass over the middle. They got this to the running back. That's Evers. He'll make the catch across the 30, out near the 34. That is a Home & Kitchen Supply first down. Put him on the 33. And a good pass by that sophomore quarterback, Yeager. He looked and just threw it right over the middle.
Yep. And that right there's a read. I don't know if that was supposed to be a run. The left guard actually pulled Schardiger, hit the quarterback as he threw the ball. But obviously the coverage was so soft that that's some type of communication between him and Evers there. And picks up the first down. Great job there by Glandorf. And Shelby once again on their heels here defensively.
Carson Yeager with a good throw. Home & Kitchen Supply first down. 1st and 10, Ottawa-Glandorf at their 33. Handoff to Evers. Breaks 1 tackle and then will not get away from a pack of Whippets. First guy through hit him, kind of slowed him up, and then 3 or 4 others able to take him to the turf. It's virtually no gain on the play.
Yeah, and
it was Kyler Williams that hit him first.
Kyler Williams got him first, slowed him up, and then, as we'd say, the pursuit gets to him. So that's what you needed, though. Now you got him a 2nd and long. You know, like I said, they like to be in 2nd in that medium range. And, you know, sometimes you'll see Glandorf throw the ball a little bit on first down to try to keep that defense honest.
5 to play until halftime. 7-6, Ottawa-Glandorf, 2nd and 10. On their own 33-yard line, they'll hand it off again. This will go to Evers. The Whippets there to take him to the turf. Terrific play there. As it was Kyler Williams again, the first guy, number 51. We've called that name a lot this season defensively. Not a big kid, but he gets his nose around the football.
Well, he's a high motor kid, and his technique's good. When you're undersized, you have to be high motor. You got to have good technique. What's that mean? That means your eyes, hands, chest, and feet have to be spot on. His hands have got to be violent. He's got to play well over his pads. His hips got to be flexible, and he does that, so he allows himself to be very successful on that defensive line.
Ottawa-Glandorf is going to burn a timeout, a big 3rd and 9. We'll take a 30-second break and be back. 4:20 to play until halftime. Ottawa-Glandorf 7, Shelby 6. Back in 30 seconds. You're listening to high school football tonight on WMAN. Back in Shelby as we have a big 3rd and 9 coming up for the Whippet defense, as it is 4:20 to play until halftime. Ottawa-Glandorf 7-6 the lead on Shelby. 3rd and 9 from their own 34-yard line. The quarterback in the gun, a wide receiver each way. They'll fake the handoff, back to pass, throw a screen back. Sam Gwirtz is going to try and grab the running back. He will not get him. And did he step out of bounds, or did he get the first down? He was along the sideline. They'll say he steps out of bounds just across the 40-yard line at the 41, a couple yards shy of the first down. If he stayed in bounds, that would have been a first down.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, it was close. He's tippy-toeing. I couldn't tell, obviously, from where we're at whether he was out or not. It looked like it, but it looks like they are bringing out that punt team. And
good job by Gwirtz just to get enough of your hands on him to shove that momentum, get him into the sideline.
Absolutely, and that's a big stop for Shelby there, getting off the field. Now watch the fake here, because you're around the 41-yard line. It's a 4th and 2. Make sure you're, to me, number 1, field the punt. Number 2, run a punt safe. Make sure you're watching for any fakes here.
4:10 to play until halftime. Again, a 1-point lead for Ottawa-Glandorf as they go to snap the football. It's a delay of game on Ottawa-Glandorf, so one would assume you're not going to get a fake now.
Right.
On 4th and 7, it'll back them up 5 yards. While we have a moment, we'll remind you each week we hand out the iHeartRadio Athlete of the Week. That is presented by the Neil Cady Insurance Agency of Ashland and Norwalk. You can get a free quote at neilcadyinsurance.com. That's neilkadey insurance.com. Those great plaques are made by Emerald Awards and Engraving in Ashland. We named a new Athlete of the Week today, Latrell Hughes, the junior from Lexington who finished state runner-up and broke the school record at the state cross-country meet.
Yeah, he's fast, man. Like when he's jogging, it's faster than a lot of people sprint.
You told me it's like
I've seen him a bunch of times.
It's like he floats, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, 4th down and 7. Here we go. The punt will be away.
Great punt.
It is a low punt, angle punt. It'll hop, hit the 40, and just keep rolling. 30, 25, 20, inside the 20, and down near the 17-yard line is where Ottawa-Glandorf will touch that football. As Mason Vogt down there on special teams for the Titans, and Shelby gets the football back, trailing by a point, 7-6 with 3:57 to play until halftime. And Eric, Shelby's moved the football the last drive. The first one they scored, the last one they were knocking on the door, but the Titan defense held them out of the end zone. This would be big for Shelby to go down and get a score, knowing you get the ball coming out in the second half.
And listen, right now the Titans have played break, bend, but don't break. Now, if you're Shelby, listen, make no mistake about it, this is an Ottawa-Glandorf game right now, meaning this is the tempo they want.
Now, excuse me, that ball's on the 12, not the 17. I must have looked wrong there. So it's 1st and 10 from the 12. Pass to the near side, going to be caught. And it's Brady Bowman, who's been very active early. They bring him in motion a lot. Snapped it. Eric threw it down the line of scrimmage. He'll get a short gain out near the 16-yard line.
Yeah, and listen, that's an extension of their run game. So people are like, man, why do they throw, lateral so often? Well, they just picked up 4 yards. That's a as good as a run. Keeps the clock moving, keeps the defense off balance, right? And they're going to come back with run. Trust me, you're going to see a little bit more of 2 and a little bit more of 1 in the backfield running around. Beatty Bowman in the backfield now. They motion him out to empty.
Yeah, he's out on the right side. DeVito back to pass. Just over 3 to play until halftime. He'll roll to the right, looking up the field. Nowhere to throw it right now. He'll make a man miss. Throw it back over the middle. It's caught there. That's Brock Fisher. He'll run away from one defender, be grabbed across the 30. He'll struggle forward. Brock Fisher not wanting to go down, and they'll say forward progress stopped just across the 31-yard line near the 32. That's a Holman Kitchen Supply first down in the legs of Braden DeVito. Made that play happen to allow Fisher to come back to the football.
Yeah, that's a great job by Fisher working back. Braden DeVito did something, generally speaking, that quarterback coaches don't love, which is throwing back across the grain. But listen, he was so wide open. And I felt bad for number 13, Dan Dooling, out there. He was grasping air. Like I said, in that 5-yard box, if you're playing tag, guess what? You're it.
2:40 to play until halftime. 1st and 10 from their own 32. DeVito's going to fire one down the field, nearly caught as the receiver back there got hit right as he caught the football. It is incomplete. As back there was Avery Lambert, but the player defensively was Jordan Shoemaker, the freshman that got there in the nick of time. Otherwise, that would have been a big play, incompleted around the 27.
Yeah, I thought it was a good defensive play. I definitely did not think there was any pass interference there. He just broke on the ball, made a nice play. I thought DeVito was about a half beat late with the throw. As a matter of fact, as that play was developing, I thought he got a little bit greedy there. That's probably the appropriate word. Hit the checkout route underneath, pick up your 5-6 yards. In my opinion, that ball shouldn't have went down the field.
4 wide receivers, 3 to the left. On 2nd and 10, handoff up the middle. Big hole up the middle. Gumbert will hit it. He'll be greeted after 8 yards at the 40-yard line. So that's an 8-yard run, and he got about 7 yards before he made contact with anybody. But that's a good run, bringing up Eric 3rd and a short 2 for Shelby.
Yeah, and if you're Shelby there, that's a run all day, man. That was like a light 5-man box. That's a great call by the offensive play coaches, man. That double team with Booker, playing guard with the center all the way up to the Mike Backer there. You'll take that free 8 yards all day.
Halftime, Ontario 28, Clyde nothing. We'll keep you up to date throughout the evening. 3rd and 2, DeVito up the middle. He'll have the first down. He'll get actually in to Titan territory and then shove back into Shelby territory, but forward progress put him down at the Ottawa-Glandorf 49-yard line, and DeVito scoots for 11 yards, and it's a Holman Kitchen Supply first down. In my counting, that's number 9 for the Whippets.
Yeah, and listen, all that is, once again, you're using Michael Shepard, the H-back, number 3, as a pulling guard or a pulling tackle almost, and as he wraps around, that just gets you another hat to the ball. So he almost isolates on that play side backer, and DeVito, man, I'm telling you, Shelby loves that play, and that's what's great about the running quarterback.
1:25 to play until halftime. Shelby 1st and 10 from Ottawa-Glandorf's 49-yard line. The Whippets trail by a point, 7-6.
Wow.
And as they go to snap the football, Shelby's going to burn. I believe that's their last time out, correct?
Yeah, that's what I saw. And that you could tell. DeVito was obviously not on the same page as his offensive coordinator and head coach there. The motion went and played, and DeVito's looking back like the coaches, and you definitely didn't want to burn the time out there. You got 1:19. Now, Shelby's very fast. They can go what you'd call NASCAR. That's your fast speed offense. They always go tempo anyways. They get to the line of scrimmage. They don't huddle. But when you go NASCAR, you're literally going hurry up offense. Trust me, 1:19 with this offense, that's plenty of time. They'll be able to line up and get going. Having said that, just to protect yourself, you'd like to keep that time out for a better situation than burning it there.
1:19 to play until halftime. Shelby 1st and 10 at the Ottawa-Glandorf 49-yard line. Out of the timeout again, 7-6 the lead for Ottawa-Glandorf. Remember, the Titans scored on their first drive. The Whippets scored on their first drive. Right. Nobody scored since. High school football on WMAN, driven by the Buckeye Superstore. State Route 39 in Shelby, home of the low payment kings. BuckeyeSuperstore.com. DeVito, 4 wide receivers, claps the hands, back to pass. He's looking around. He will elude one guy at the 40, load up, fire a dart down the field, and sliding and not making the catch at the 25-yard line was Caden Price. There were 2 receivers kind of darting across. I wasn't sure if he was going for Lambert or Price, and it'll be incomplete.
Yeah, I think he was actually going for Lambert on that. I'm sorry, I think he was going for Price. I think he was going for the slide across the...
Lambert kind of flashed in front.
But yeah, they both were there. that's I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and say this just because, I mean, I love the kid to death and he's an incredible quarterback and he's normally unbelievably accurate. That was not his finest throw right there because I think if he'd have settled his feet a little bit more, I think he'd have been able to, because both receivers were open. His idea was good, the execution and accuracy not so much.
1:10 to play until halftime. 2nd and 10, Shelby at the Titan 49. DeVito back to pass. He'll spin, roll to the near side. He'll throw it, and that ball is going to be incomplete. I think he thought Bowman was going to move from where he was because the pass was really not super close to Brady Bowman. It was just across midfield, and it's incomplete. And Shelby just not on the same page on a couple of these plays, bringing up a 3rd and 10 from the Ottawa-Glandorf 49-yard line. 1:04 to play until halftime. Again, if you are just joining us, a 1-point Titan lead.
Yeah, and listen there, that just you got to give the coverage credit. Listen, they put 3 down linemen in, so they took a lineman off, and basically what they've gone is they've gone to like almost a dime package. A dime package means that you have actually 2 safeties. Like right now, Aaron, that's a run box every day, all day. Will Shelby run the football, though?
It's 3rd and 10 from the Ottawa-Glandorf 49 as they go to snap the football. It's going to be a delay of game on Shelby. So 3rd and 10 becomes 3rd and 15.
The last 2 or 3 plays here have not been Shelby's finest hour here, coaching or playing. Just, burning a timeout, which was kind of, just not very good. And then, 2 offensive plays that were not executed very well. And then right there, not getting yourself set up. It's and like I said, if you look at this, if we're able to see it here as the screen moves out, you and I got a great look. Aaron, you essentially have a 5-man box here. That would be a run every day, all day, normally.
4 wide receivers on 3rd and 15. DeVito back to pass. He'll throw one. He's got a receiver, and he dropped it. He was going to get hit at the 35-yard line. It was Caden Price. The pass was there. He was probably taking a peek at the receiver, or excuse me, at the defensive back as a receiver, and drops it at the Titan 35-yard line. Would have been a first down.
Yeah, and you got to catch that football. I know you're going to get hit anyways, and you got to catch the football. That's one of those things. Like this is a week 12 of the playoffs. The ball hits you right in the 4. Got to catch the football.
So Shelby's going to punt it. Michael Shepard is out there. 54 seconds to play until halftime. Still 7-6 Ottawa-Glandorf. Very eerie of last week's game against Galleon, where it was a 1-possession game most of the night. Very short punt, end over end. It'll hit at the 31-yard line and go directly to the right, where one of the Whippets is standing over there to grab the football, and that was Case and coach over there, number 10, to grab the football. And so Ottawa-Glandorf is going to have it, Eric. 45 seconds to play until halftime. They'll have the football at their own 30-yard line, again leading by 1 point. We're going to check that North Central State College high school football scoreboard. Halftime, Ontario 28, Clyde nothing. Ashland third quarter already leading St. Francis de Sales 20-7 over at Community Stadium. 36-0 Hillsdale at halftime over Wyndham. We'll try to get you some of the other scores.
Hey, I just, I respect Ontario, man.
Tell you what, Bodman Miller and crew is having a great first half, as we're going to have a run here on 1st and 10 for Ottawa-Glandorf.
Yeah, and it picked up 2 yards there. Listen, they are perfectly fine going into halftime up 7-6. Listen, what did I say? There were 3 outcomes, in my opinion, in this game. A Shelby blowout, which has not happened. Shelby wins close, Glandorf wins close. This is a 7-6 game. Right now,
it's close.
Oh, well, and not only that, but 100% Glandorf they have played this game on their terms. And Shelby's got to go into half and really figure some things out, because offensively, they really haven't looked crisp since the first drive.
That was a 3-yard run by Grant Evers, and they will not run another play. We go into halftime in a low-scoring game where both teams score on their first possession, and nobody scored after that. Shelby knocked on the door on their second drive. Remember, they had it goal to go and did not get it in the end zone. And so we go to halftime with Ottawa-Glandorf on top of Shelby 7-6. Let me touch on a couple of the scores. We ran down a couple there. And we can also tell you tonight, Northmore 25, Centerburg nothing. That game is at halftime. Lexington, Rocky River tied at 13 at halftime. And Danville 52, Notre Dame nothing, second quarter. Wow.
Yeah.
Those are your scores. The North Central State College High School football scoreboard. We'll take a break. I know the OH Report will have the band here at halftime. We're going to step aside. We're going to hear from Tim Street on the radio side from the Ohio High School Athletic Association coming up here at halftime. Once again from the Whippet Athletic Complex, regional quarterfinal at halftime in Division 4, Ottawa-Glandorf 7 and Shelby 6. We'll take a break and be back. You're listening to high school playoff football on WMAN.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
Welcome to Richland County's first artificial intelligence ATM. And if you car dance to the song you're listening to now, I will give you $50. See, that's something an ATM can never do.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Oh, we're serious.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. We hope your day is a little bit better today.
Yes, thank you.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more. Every single Friday night right here.
show tonight with Every Time We Touch, the Euro dance staple from Cascada. Ladies and gentlemen, for their last home performance of the season and under the direction of Director of Games Coach Tom McCall, Associate Director Timothy Meyer, and Manager of the Valley Farmhouse, we've got the 2024 amazing Shelby Whippets marching band. Let's go! Rock is a radio format that developed from album-oriented rock in the mid-1960s through the mid-1990s. Tonight, the amazing Shelby Whippets Marching Band will be performing some of the best rock hits from these decades. We open up our show with a song that reached the top 25 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 in 1984 by the German hard rock band Scorpions. This is Rock You Like a Hurricane. Gracie Rodman. Here is Carry On My Wayward Soul. From 1984. This metal anthem was written for the downtrodden to praise their fist in the air in righteous anger. This is We're Not Gonna Take It.
in Shelby, where it is halftime at the Whippet Athletic Complex in a low-scoring game here in the Division IV Regional Quarterfinal, where Ottawa-Glandorf has a 7-6 lead on the Shelby Whippets. Hines, Erik Will, glad to be teamed up tonight with our good friends at the OH.REPORT. While Erik was eating at halftime, that reminds me, we are broadcasting from the Wendy's broadcast booth, where the Browns Biggie Bundle is here all season long. You can score a junior bacon cheeseburger, 4-piece nugs, junior fry, small soft drink, and even on a frosty or chilly night, you can still throw in that small frosty for $7. Grab one from any participating Wendy's for a limited time. All right, first half has one score each way. Let's recap this.
Let's take a look.
It will not take long. At the 7:56 mark of the opening quarter on the first drive of the night for the Ottawa-Glandorf Titans, it was a 17-yard touchdown. And again, it was a catch from the quarterback, Yeager, to the wide receiver, Deegan Miller. And Deegan Miller, a sophomore, able to get that ball across the goal line, 7-0, as the point after was good. Shelby able to answer on their first drive at the 2:13 mark. It was a 40-yard touchdown run. Erik called him Denny LaFon. Officially, it's Denny LaFon. He plowed his way in from 40 yards out. But Shelby's extra point was blocked. And those are the only two scores in the first half. 7-6 Ottawa-Glandorf here at halftime. But Shelby had a chance, Erik. Their second drive, they drove down the field. They actually had it first and goal, but they were stopped on 4 consecutive plays. And I think it was 4th and goal from the 7. And Ottawa-Glandorf's defense, you know what you would say, like a rubber band, they bend, but they didn't break.
That's right. And listen, this entire game, the pace, everything, the outcome, this is all Titan football. This is exactly what they wanted. We talked about coming in, they averaged 22 points a game. They've really muddied it up. They've done it, and what did I say? They've got to contain or slow down Braden DeVito. They've done that. And you got to give them credit. I think it's, some people might be thinking, what's going on with Shelby? What's going, why aren't they doing this? Why aren't they doing that? What's going on with the points? I think you got to give credit to Glandorf. Like I said, playing that WBL, man, that is a man's league. I'm just going to say that right now. That is, if you are soft, you need not apply. That's the type of league that WBL is. And I can tell you this, 5-5, 6-5 coming out of that league is probably well above 500 in most leagues. Now, how does that translate here to the second half? Well, if you're Shelby, you've got to get back to what you do well. You got to out-scheme. You got to hit your big plays. You got to get something down the field schematically, not necessarily off the B play, but off your A play. How do you get Bowman going? How do you get Nick Eister going? Some of those guys while still continue. And Shelby's run the ball decent, not great, but decent. But remember, that end zone in your playbook gets really tight when you get inside the 20. Some of those great plays that you have that are schemed up, they're difficult when you shrink that field. And Glandorf, listen, here was their adjustment, Aaron, is they rushed 3, dropped 8. They were playing a dime package. If they come out in the second half, Shelby's got to run the ball all day, every day against that. You get a 4-5, even a 6-man box, got to run the football. And Shelby's just got to be okay with taking small wins. Get your lead coming out here. This first drive is going to be huge for Shelby starting the second half.
Ottawa-Glandorf, we mentioned this earlier, they allow just under 19 points per game. They score 20. Shelby averages 38 a game, allowing 13. Shelby's lowest scoring game of the season was week 2 when they won 21-10 at Lexington. Again, just 3 scores. Most games, Erik, they're scoring 5+ touchdowns.
Well, and they score points in bunches. We saw that against Clear Fork. If you go back to week 8.
4 in a hurry.
They played 4, because they only had what, Aaron? I think 7 points going into the fourth quarter.
It was 7 late third quarter, and boom.
Because Clear Fork scored, and then like 2 plays later, Shelby scores. See, that's what I'm saying. It requires mental toughness. When you're used to putting points up in bunches, you've got to be calm, get back to what you do. The offensive line still has to do their thing. This is still an interior game. As much fun as I always say the curtains are, that perimeter stuff, you've got to be sound on the inside. Shelby right here has a great opportunity to get the ball and see if they can't punch this thing in. And if you're Glandorf, just keep doing what you're doing. That's what their coaching staff said going in. Listen, this is exactly the type of game we had to have here because we understand the offensive firepower that Shelby has. Because the best individual individual player on the field is Braden DeVito. There's no doubt about that. So you just got to continue to, I always call it cage rushing. You know, everybody get in their lane, get up the field. Don't necessarily invite him to run the football early. Try to beat him with coverage and keep him in the pocket.
Shelby had 10 first downs in that first half. Ottawa-Glandorf had 5. By the way, if you're not aware, Ottawa-Glandorf, they were 1-9 a year ago, so they really have done a nice job under 29th year head coach Ken Shrine.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because Ken Shrine, I mean, he's a Hall of Fame coach. I mean, this guy been to 2 Final Fours. He's actually been to 2 finals, didn't win. But, yeah, Ottawa-Glandorf is a great program historically.
Yeah, Ken Shriner has done a terrific job. We're ready for the third quarter. Again, we'll check scores throughout the evening. Our game started at 7:30. So that is why we are not too far away from 9 o'clock, and we are just starting the third quarter. It will be a low kick, and Colt Dorsey will field it like a shortstop on a hop. It hit him in the chest, bobbled it momentarily, able to fall on the football. And Shelby will start with pretty good field position. They're inside their 35-yard line, put them at the 34. We'll see that Whippet offense that again scored on their first possession. Second drive, they got right down there, but Ottawa-Glandorf's defense was able to really stop them on the doorstep. So Shelby's been able to move the football. As Eric mentioned, we'll see what adjustments were made at halftime, and what the Whippets will do is they start this third quarter. They bring Bowman in motion. They're going to run it. DeVito up the middle. He'll be hit low on a tackle. That was Kuhlman again coming up from the secondary. Will Kuhlman, the junior, really has played very, very well. Number 84 made that tackle, but a nice run there by DeVito. As you mentioned, he'll get about 4 yards.
Yeah, and that's once again, now when they motioned Bowman in, that created a 6-man box. But even looking at it now, you got 2 guys kind of hanging on the perimeter. Right now, you'd call this a 5, potentially 6-man box. That still says run the football.
2nd and 6 from the 38.
There
They'll run
it is.
it to Gumbert, left side. He'll be tackled across the 40 near the 43.
See, and this is the stuff that people have to understand. This is the schematics. This is the analytics behind football. You know, I'm trying to tell you, even whether you're listening on radio or seeing it on the OH report, that is a run box all day. That's why your offense score. You just got to be patient. Don't try to fit a square peg in a round hole. If you get a 5-man box, even a slight 6-man box with a running quarterback, the numbers are in your favor. Just run the football. Be patient.
And as the 11th Holman Kitchen Supply first down for the Whippets, they move it football on the 44-yard line, their own 44. 10:53 to go here in the third quarter. Just underway in the second half. 7-6 Ottawa-Glandorf. Whippets 4 wide receivers wide to the right. DeVito back to pass, looking down the field. Thought he was going to load up and throw one down the field. Penalty marker is out. He's scrambling away from multiple guys. He'll roll to the right side, 45-yard line. He'll go into the sideline, dive near midfield, but may this be a hold on Shelby. It's back at around.
Yeah, I think they're going to call that on 74, Braden Schardiger. I'm pretty sure that's who they're calling it on.
Penalty marker thrown back at around the 36-yard line. So DeVito danced around forever and got a few yards up the field, but again, it'll come back on a hold for Shelby, and they had a couple nice runs there, but now you have the penalty, and now you play behind the chains.
See, and for me, once again, I'd have run the football again, because on that one, you had basically a 4, maybe a 5-man box. They were all up at the line of scrimmage. You had a deep safety sitting with his heels at about 12 yards. You run your quarterback on that play, and you are gold, man. I'm telling you. When they go empty, you're essentially getting a 4-man box with a safety that sits about 12 yards. So, Aaron, like, you can kind of see it right here. See what I'm talking about? Now they walk the backer off, so because of this formation, you got a 3-man front. That says run all day.
Shelby 1st and 20 at their own 34-yard line. DeVito will take it. He'll run it right side. Actually bring it to the near side, excuse me. He'll dart across the 40 and then dive near the 41, so give him about 7 yards. They pick up a good chunk of that holding penalty back. It'll be 2nd down, 13. Whippets again, football at their own 41-yard line. 10:16 to play, third quarter. 7-6 the lead for Ottawa-Glandorf. High school football tonight on WMAN all season long. Driven by the Buckeye Superstore. Stay Route 39 in Shelby, home of the Low Payment Kings. BuckeyeSuperstore.com is the Whippets to the line. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the near side to the left. DeVito is in the gun with the back. Gumbert to his left. He'll kind of slide out. Gumbert, 1 to the left. DeVito will throw it right side. Bowman across the 40. Got a crease. least 45, and then tackled at around the 47-yard line as DeVito, again, we saw this a lot. Just snap it, Erik, turn to the right and fire the ball to Bowman.
Yeah, and right there, once again, you got an 8-man, so you got a dime look there out of him. So, that's a good job by Shelby there. Good job by Bowman getting yourself into a manageable 3rd and 7. But once again, now, hopefully you pick up this first time. This seems to be an obvious pass. Although if it were me, Aaron, if you go spread and you're looking at essentially a 4-man box with Braden DeVito, I'm running the football. I'm going to run quarterback power. That's what I would do. Now, the Gumbert's in, but look, Aaron, there's a 4-man box. Let's call it a 5 because you got that other safety sitting out on the edge. It's a 5-man box. Man, you can run that all day. And Shelby burning a timeout.
Shelby will burn a timeout. We'll keep it right here. This may not be a full timeout. We'll keep it here. A big 3rd and 7 coming up for the Whippets. Football again is at their own 47-yard line with 9:07 to play here in the 3rd quarter. 7-6 the lead for Ottawa-Glandorf. Again, after the game, we'll select our Spitzer Motors game changer, whose hustle, whose effort changes tonight's game, courtesy of the great people at Spitzer Motors, West 4th Street in Ontario. You can shop online anytime at drivespitzer.com.
Yeah, and listen, I love the way Glandorf's playing this game defensively. They keep jumping back and forth between a 4 and a 3-man front. Right now what you've been seeing is, and I know Coach Mahaney is seeing that, and he's trying to relay that to his team. I just hate to burn a timeout with 9:07 in the 3rd quarter because those things I think as we go here are going to be extremely precious. But when you get it, let's call it a 5-man box. Aaron, what I'm saying by that is you got 5 offensive linemen and your quarterback. That's without even your running back. So you can get a hat on a hat. If he gets a crease, the only player they have that can stop the quarterback is sitting at about 10 to 12 yards. And I'll take DeVito on a safety in open space any day of the week.
3rd and 7, Shelby, their own 47-yard line, down a point, 3rd quarter, 9:07 to play. DeVito back to pass, 4 wide receivers looking. He'll throw it up the field, and he'll miss his receiver, Nick Eister, who was working his way across the field at the Titan 40-yard line, and the Whippets are going to have to punt the football.
Yeah, and so, hey, great job by Glandorf there. Essentially spying him with that, listen, that's that cage rushing. They brought the backer around. They're just trying to keep DeVito in. Listen, they want DeVito in the pocket. Aaron, they're dropping 7 or 8 guys in coverage each time, which means those windows are extremely tight. That's why Shelby's going to have to run the ball to get the extra man into the box, and until they do that, Glandorf's going to have the competitive edge.
Looked like they had a receiver to the near side. They could have had a little screen. Instead, they threw it up the field, incomplete, and the Whippets will punt the football as Michael Shepard will boot it away, and it'll be Evers, the running back there on special teams. So we'll return the football, a short gain up to the 25-yard line, and that is where Ottawa-Glandorf will have their first possession here of the second half with 8:53 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Again, still 7-6. Again, Shelby trailing by 1 point. It very eerily similar of last week's game against Galleon, where it was low scoring the entire way.
Yep.
And you really feel who scores next is going to be key, Erik.
Oh, no doubt about it. Listen, this is one of those games, points are at a premium. So if you're Glandorf, number one, you want to eat 6-7 minutes off this clock and punch one in.
He'll hand it off to Evers, work his way left side. Not a lot of room to run. Tough sledding, but he will get a few yards up the field. He'll plow his way across the line of scrimmage, which was the 25. They'll put him down near the 28-yard line. Give him 3.
Yeah, and Ontario up right now 35-7 on Clyde. So how about Ontario just kind of taking Clyde to the woodshed there out of the SBC and coming in? Aaron, if you were to ask me, I'd have said these games would be flipped. I'd have thought Shelby was going to probably be around 35-7, and Ontario would be in this dogfight. But, man, Ontario leaving nothing to doubt or to chance today. So congratulations to Ontario as they continue to play with vengeance, man.
They'll try and finish that deal and get themselves into the regional semifinals. They'll fake the run. They'll throw it to the near side. It's caught by the receiver. That's Metzger out of a tackle. Midfield into Shelby territory. 40, 30, down the sideline. 15, 10,
Keep
5.
going.
And he is into the end zone on a 72-yard touchdown from the quarterback, Yeager. He hit the wide receiver, Ethan Metzger, 72 yards to the end zone.
Well, I tell you what, that wide receiver absolutely dominated Braden DeVito out there. Watch this if you see it on your screen. I'm talking he picks him up and drops him and deposits him in the bank, man. And then you see the speed by Ethan Metzger, man, getting to the end zone. And we said, who'd have thought the first big explosive play would be Glandorf? And I'm telling you, man, Shelby on their heels in old school roller skates, man.
And the point after on the extra point, he's up. And just like Mill Iron Auto Parts, Cooper Fisher is good. It's a good idea to stop by Mill Iron Auto Parts to receive top dollar for your used vehicle. Mill Irons supporting local high school athletics. We'll step aside. Back in a minute. 7:59 to play third quarter. Ottawa-Glandorf 14, Shelby 6. You're listening to high school playoff football on WMAN.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
Back in Shelby as the kickoff is returned by the Whippets. After the touchdown again by Ottawa-Glandorf, Gavin Miller on the return there for the Shelby Whippets, who will have the football in decent starting field position at their own 30-yard line. But Eric mentioned before the break, 14-6 Ottawa-Glandorf, 7:51 to play here in the third quarter. And the first big play of the game via the air from the Titans.
Yeah, and Glandorf, once again, 5-man box, man, just basically saying run the football.
And Shelby will run it. DeVito faked it. Now he runs it across the 40, breaks it at the outside, stiff arm. And you know what? There's a penalty marker that may have grabbed the face mask on DeVito. I'm not sure. Somebody grabbed a face mask.
I think it's offensive.
Now they're going to call a face mask on
You're offense.
Right. You
it's
are
on
right.
DeVito. Listen, DeVito with that stiff arm, you could see he locked it, and that's a great call. See, nobody wants to call that. See, I like that call.
You rarely see that call.
It's kind of like targeting. I'm tired of the defensive guys getting. When an offensive guy lowers his helmet into a defender, how about they get called for targeting? You know what I mean? Like, it's little things like this. We've made all the rules so offensive. You've got to help the defenses out a little bit too. You can stiff arm, but as soon as that hand gets around that face mask, it's coming out. So that's 15 yards, Aaron.
And DeVito got basically where the first down marker was, and the 15-yard penalty will back up Shelby to their own 25-yard line. So first and 15 from their own 25, down 8 points with 7:40 to play here in the third quarter. 14-6, again the lead for Ottawa-Glandorf. Winner will face the winner of Ontario and Clyde in the regional semifinals next week. Last report is 35-7 Ontario, fourth quarter. Over in Ontario.
How about Ashland, man? Ashland up 27-14 as well.
Yeah, on a very good team from Columbus, St. Francis de Sales. They're trying to improve to 12-0 and reach the regional semifinals next week. Whippets down 8. They'll run the football to the near side. Gumbert will run it. He'll get a block. They're going to say.
I'll tell you what, he did. He took it from him.
Well, the official says he's down. The official's pointing he's down. It looked like as Gumbert was going down, Metzger ripped that ball out, but they'll say the knee was down, and we'll check the replay.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we're up here with the OH report getting some replays here. I'll tell you, it was very close. Dude, it's good. It's close. It's really, really close.
His hand was still on the ball, and he was on the ground. So,
nope, good call. Good call.
The official was all over it. Shelby will get a short gain of about 4 yards. 2nd and 11. Football at their own 29-yard line. 6:44 to go in the third quarter. Again, they're down 8. 4 wide receivers. DeVito will fake the run to the right up the middle. He'll get across the 30 and dive out near the 34. So DeVito gets about 5 yards. It'll be third down and about 6 yards to go coming up for Shelby. And again, long way to go in this game. But again, down 8 points right now. And the last thing you want to do is punt the football back to Glandorf.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, they're right now, they're playing really, really well offensively and defensively. Shelby's really had no answer consistently for this Glandorf defense.
3rd down and 6 from their own 34. Hand
There
up,
you go.
Gumber, big hole up the middle. 40, 45 near midfield. Knee goes down right at midfield on a 16-yard burst right up the gut by junior running back Marcus Gumbert.
Now, doggone it, I don't want to sound like I'm a broken record here, but that's what I've been calling for. You got a 5-man box, run the football. Run the football. Run the football.
They might be able to hear you from the box here. As hang on, we are going to have.
And of course, Shelby wants to go tempo, and the officials kind of tell you, yeah, Coach Mahaney is not a happy camper. Yeah, and what you're doing by running the football, Aaron, even on a 3rd and 7 there is, number one, you're saying, you know, if you don't get that 6th guy in the box, we're just going to continue to run the football.
1st and 10 from midfield. Avita will snap it, run it left side. He'll work his way for about 3 yards down near the 47-yard line. The problem a moment ago was, as you mentioned, the officials held up play. Shelby wanted to go quick, and they weren't able to do that. They'll get 3 yards by DeVito. 5.5 to play in the 3rd quarter. 2nd down, 7. Shelby again. The football is at the Titan 47-yard line. 14-6 the lead for Ottawa-Glandorf.
Right now, and listen, you know, this is what takes discipline and mental toughness by a team like Shelby, because they're used to high octane, lots of points. Glandorf is saying, we're going to give you something, but it's going to require you to be disciplined and take small chunks.
You're going to have a lot of plays down the field to score. DeVito is going to try and throw one down the field, nearly intercepted at around the 18-yard line. It's almost like Brady Bowman had to play defensive back, as right there was Grant Evers, number 18. He got his hands on it, and Bowman kind of came from behind to make sure he didn't pick that one off.
Yeah, they kind of ran a little swap route there, and quite frankly, he just didn't put enough on it. If he'd have thrown the ball 5 yards further, Bowman probably scores a touchdown. He underthrew him by about 5 yards. And listen, that's the difference between a touchdown and a receiver playing defense. You know, DeVito's got to get that ball out there. He's been, I think you would agree with this, he's been a little off today. And I'm going to credit a lot of that defense continuing to change it up. But DeVito hasn't been as accurate. He hasn't been as on time, on target as normally. But having said that, we're still plenty of time, and he's the type of player that can snap out of it in a play.
3rd and 7 at the Glandorf 47-yard line. DeVito back to pass, looking down the field. He'll throw one over the middle. It's caught and then dropped.
Jeez.
The receiver had it. I'll tell you what, the defender came in, may have jarred it loose. It was Lambert who caught the football. It would have been a 1st down at around the 30-yard line, trying to see who came in. It was one of the defensive backs kind of jarred that football loose. It'll be incomplete.
And here's the other thing. I made that comment about DeVito. Well, that's at least the 3rd or 4th drop, too. The receivers have got to start doing their part as well by helping them out by catching the football. Listen, you're going to catch the football in traffic. There's a 7-8-man box. You got to catch the football, help your quarterback out.
4th and 7. Michael Shepard will boot it away. It'll hit at about the 20-yard line and then kind of hop around and be touched up by Brady Bowman at the 19-yard line. So Ottawa-Glandorf will get it back with an 8-point lead, 3rd quarter with 4:42 to play. Again, here in the 3rd quarter, Ottawa-Glandorf 14 and Shelby 6. We'll remind you, we'll check all those scores on the North Central State College High School Football Scoreboard at WMANFM.com. NC State, our official sponsor of our scoreboard all season long. We've been tracking scores. They're your affordable option where 3 out of 4 students graduate without college debt. Ontario has scored again.
Man, that's what they're doing. They're just churning out points. That's a running clock, man.
38-7 Warriors, 4th quarter against Clyde. Shelby right now down by a score. Back to pass on 1st down. This is Yeager. He'll throw it, and I mean, it'll hang in the air forever. It'll fall just shy of the receiver, about the 48-yard line. That thing hung up there forever. It'll be incomplete.
Yeah, he threw that one so high it brought rain down with it. You know, once again, you know, what is that, Cole Dorsey out there on coverage? I think that's one of those things, like, I'm glad he was able to at least get his body turned around where he didn't bump into the receiver, because that's when you get the PI. You know what I mean? That's when you get that pass interference. It's because you don't have that spatial awareness and the quarterback doesn't throw a very good ball, and you kind of can't get out of the way fast enough.
4:35 to play third quarter, 14-6 Ottawa-Glandorf. They have it 2nd and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Handoff to Evers. There is just nowhere to go right there. The Whippets there in numbers to take him down. Schardinger was in there. Gwirtz among others. Carson Holman all in there on the stop. No gain at the 19-yard line.
Yeah, and that right there, guard pulls. You can see that tackle shoot down, took Schardiger's legs out. Good pursuit there by LaFon and company. And listen, if you're Shelby, got to get off the field right here. You got a 3rd and 10. It's an obvious pass situation. Be careful. Watch the screen. Watch the draw. Be very sound defensively here. One thing you're not getting is a lot of run out of the quarterback. So just make sure that you're deep. You're sound. See if you can get a little bit of a pass rush here.
3rd and 10 from their own 19. 4 wide receivers. They'll hand the football to the running back, and it'll be eaten up as the Whippets knife in there. Sam Gwirtz was in there as well. You mentioned Schardinger and others, but they were right there in numbers to take the back down. And Eric, a little bit of a loss back near the 18.
Yeah, Kyler Williams jumping on as well. That was huge. That was a big-time stop for that defense. Great job there by 3 or 4 Shelby Whippets getting on that. And now listen, you should have the ability to get yourself good position. This guy's kicked low-line drives. I would scoot up. If I was the return guy here, I would not be hanging back 40 yards. I'd put my heels 35 yards and try to play anything coming to you because, man, you don't want to lose this great field position.
That was a great swim move, by the way, by Schardinger right there on the defensive line. Fenberger back to pass, nearly blocked. Sam Gwirtz got in there. It'll hit at about the 49-yard line of Shelby and then roll inside the 45, 40, inside the 35, and roll dead at the 34. So you're talking a good close to 14, 15 yards. If you go up and field that catch near midfield, that's where you have it. Instead, you have it at your own 34.
And that's why I said put your heels at 35. If he kicks it a little bit deep, fair catch it. Though as low as that is, because they do not get height on their punts, if you do catch it, you're going to be able to catch it before the kick coverage gets down. Instead, you're losing, like you said, 15, 16 yards on that roll and could have had the ball around midfield. That saves you 15 yards, a full 1st down and a half, and here we go. Shelby's got it. Shelby's got to get something going offensively here. They have really been sputtering.
Yeah, they scored on their opening drive. Their second one, they had a goal to go and did not get in. Got stopped on 4th down. 14-6, Ottawa-Glandorf. Just under 3 to play here in the 3rd. DeVito back to pass. Will throw one down the sideline. Got a receiver, and he caught it. He'll break free, and he will dart into the end zone for a Shelby Whippet touchdown. Braden DeVito, 66 yards down the sideline to junior Avery Lambert, and the Whippets score on a big play.
Hey, Avery Lambert, man, dropped that pass on the last series, and here comes back. So here's what you got. You got kind of a cover 2 look with 2 safeties over the top, and he just threw it in that window, and Lambert does the rest. He's kind of a sturdy dude. He's a thick guy underneath there, sheds off the tackler there, and Shelby going for 2 to try to tie this game up. That's what I'm saying. Shelby offensively, they can do that. They can put points up in bunches. And man, what an answer right now for Shelby. They needed that, man. They needed it really bad.
Credit your defense, too, for getting that ball back. And DeVito with a 66-yard strike to Avery Lambert, who shed a tackler, and they'll go for 2 as he's into the end zone. 4 wide receivers. They'll bring Bowman in motion as DeVito is in the gun as the Whippets try to complete their 11 two-point conversion. They'll throw it over the middle, and that football is caught.
Yep,
Guess who? Michael Shepard, the tight end, over the middle. The Whippets convert on their 11th two-point conversion on the season. He threw that baby through traffic.
Yeah, there was a very tight window. He threw it in between a couple of Whippets and a couple of Titan defenders, and we got ourselves a tie ball game, baby.
We'll step aside. 2:45 to play third quarter. Shelby, Ottawa-Glandorf locked up 14-14. Back in a minute. You're listening to high school playoff football on WMAN.
Welcome to Richland County's first artificial intelligence ATM. And if you car dance to the song you're listening to now, I will give you $50. See, that's something an ATM can never do.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Oh, we're serious.
Gosh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. We hope your day is a little bit better today.
Yes, thank you.
Back in Shelby after the Whippets on a 66-yard touchdown pass to Avery Lambert from quarterback Braden DeVito, his 53rd touchdown accounted for on the season, and then a 2-point conversion good to Michael Shepard. Kickoff on the return by Ottawa-Glandorf. They'll have it at their own 39-yard line with 2:37 to play here in the third quarter. Eric, the Whippet defense just got to stop, got the ball to their offense, big play. Can they do it one more time to get it right back to the offense?
Yeah, and that's what we're going to find out, because they're going to get back to that ground game.
And they will hand the football off. Carson Holman will grab the running back and take him to the turf. That's Grant Evers. He'll struggle forward for a yard to the 40, but that's your big senior. I know he's playing through an injury, but Carson Holman's one tough kid.
Yeah, he is. And listen, he had that shoulder injury over there at Clear Fork about 3 weeks ago, and playing with a pretty heavily wrapped and braced shoulder there. So good job there by scraping underneath and playing outside in, and getting on that tackle for a very slight gain of, let's call it a yard, maybe a half yard.
We'll give it a yard officially. 2nd down 9 out of Ottawa-Glandorf, their own 40-yard line. 2 to play in the third quarter. Tied 14-14. 3 wide receivers. They'll bring a man in motion. They'll get it to Metzger. The penalty marker is out. There's multiple. Looks like it'll be a hold, one would assume, on Glandorf as Metzger got the corner, hit the 40, 45, and out of bounds near the 47. But one would assume this one's coming back.
Yeah. And it'd be interesting to see who they would call it on, because I don't know if they're calling it kind of on that little crack block from behind, or if they're calling it on a hold out there on that slot receiver.
And they're going to call a hold on Ottawa-Glandorf. So what they don't want is going to be 2nd down and long, as it was 2nd and 9. That'll back them up 10 yards.
Yeah, they're calling that hold on Grant Evers there, number 18 on the edge on Sam Gwertz.
So it would officially be 2nd down 19, Ottawa-Glandorf football at their own 30-yard line. Clock reading 1:48 to play here in the third quarter. We are tied 14-14 here at the Whippet Athletic Complex. 3 wide receivers. Yeager, the quarterback, is in the gun. He'll, on a little delay, hand the football off. Good spin move by Evers, and then he'll be thrown to the turf. LaFon is the one that eventually got him to the turf, but a good spin move by Evers. He'll actually, Eric, pick up a few more yards than were initially there.
Yeah, and that was a great spin move. Good job there. I believe that was Gwertz that grabbed air there.
Got about 5 yards, actually almost 6 yards.
Yeah, and he fell forward. He spun and kind of fell forward there, and LaFon getting another tackle. And here we go, 3rd and 13, Aaron.
3rd and 13.
This is for your Shelby. This is exactly what it is. They're throwing on your terms, and now you just got to be schematically sound, make that quarterback feel a little pressure.
Ottawa-Glandorf, their own 36-yard line, 1:05 to play here in the third. Tied at 14. Yeager, the quarterback, rolling left. He'll throw it up the field. He'll throw it short. He was intended for his receiver on the far side of the field and kind of threw it at his feet. It'll be incomplete and bring up 4th down for Ottawa-Glandorf. They were going again for Metzger, who had the big touchdown, but Yeager that time kind of rushed that throw, and the Whippet defense will force a punt. 4th and 13, Ottawa-Glandorf, their own 36-yard line, 58 seconds to play here in quarter number 3.
Yeah, and great job by Shelby's defense, like you said, getting off the field here. That was key, man, and giving that offense the ball back. And we've kind of seen some major highs, ups and downs here in the third quarter. So, but what you got to like for Shelby is it seems like when they do get down, they really do respond well in that next series.
Here we go. Penberger on the punt. It'll be a low line drive hit. It'll go actually over the head of Brock Fisher inside the 20-yard line and be touched at the 19. So for Shelby, in terms of receiving punts, they've had a lot of yardage that's been behind them, whether it's hit and roll or that time went over the shoulder of Fisher.
Right. I mean, if you're not going to field punts, then just don't put anybody back. Just either go for a block or just let the ball hit and roll. I just feel like it's kind of useless. But, why put somebody back if there's never even an attempt to actually make a play on the punt? Now, having said that, here we go. Shelby is, Shelby's coming out here in the around the 19-yard line. And listen, the Titans are back to that defense of a 5-man box.
49 seconds to play here in the third quarter. DeVito will fake the handoff to the running back Gumbert. He'll keep it himself across the 20 and out near the 23 before he is taken to the turf. And that time DeVito just reading the defense, Eric, as he was going to hand the football to Gumbert, saw the defense, pulls it out, and he'll get that football, as I mentioned. Dooling tried to grab him with one hand. Eventually, it was Jaden Steck-Schulte, their leading tackler, who's got over 100 tackles on the year, to take him down. Again, it's a close to a 40-yard gain, they'll say, for DeVito. Put him down at the 23, so second down, 6 yards to go at their own 23. Tied at 14, 13 seconds to play here in the third. 3 wide receivers. DeVito, they're going to fake it, and they're going to pitch it coming around the backside. This is Bowman, right side, 30, 40, midfield. Brady Bowman down the sideline, 40,
He
30,
going.
25. Brady Bowman inside the 10, and his ball is actually...
Oh, he fumbled it.
The ball got knocked out.
He fumbled it.
The ball got knocked out at the 2-yard line, and Glandorf has the football. They'll return it across the 30 and near the 35-yard line as the clock hits triple zeros.
Wow.
Bowman was not into the end zone, and somebody ripped it out.
Man, I'll tell you, the angle got him. You got to give the defensive back credit for that. I think it's number 3 here.
Yeah, Shoemaker.
And Shoemaker, it's crazy because he's got the ball in the right hand, and he just punches it out. What a defensive play. That is an incredible defensive play right there by number 3, Jordan Shoemaker.
That is the play of the game right
now.
now.
No doubt about it. That is fantastic. I love that right there. That wins football games right there.
We're going to step aside. The third quarter is over after 3. Shelby and Ottawa-Glandorf tied at 13. Back in a minute. You're listening to high school football on WMAN.
Welcome to Richland County's first artificial intelligence ATM. And if you car dance to the song you're listening to now, I will give you $50. See, that's something an ATM can never do.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Oh, we're serious.
Gosh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. We hope your day is a little bit better today.
Yes, thank you.
An incredible play to end quarter number 3 as it looked like Brady Bowman was going to dart in from better than 70 yards out for a Shelby touchdown, and hustling down the field, freshman Jordan Shoemaker.
Man, I'll tell you what, and listen, you got to
punches
love
that
the
out
speed.
at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, if you're number 3 Shoemaker, that's incredible effort, man. I did, and what's funny is I wasn't wrong. If he holds onto the ball, he falls into the end zone. And man, I'll tell you what a play, what an effort by the defense.
And there was a penalty on Shelby, so Ottawa-Glandorf will start the football in the fourth quarter at their own 49-yard line. Back to pass, the quarterback will throw it. It's a little high. Had a receiver out there. It'll be incomplete, bringing up second down, but I think a lot of people in this stadium are kind of shell-shocked right now after what just happened, because it looked like the Whippets were going to score on another big play, but you got to credit. This is why coaches tell you never stop hustling.
Oh,
right?
absolutely. No, that's picture perfect. You're going to put that up for your entire team to see, and that kid is going to get absolutely praised all over by everybody. And Yeager doing an RPO there on the first down and just didn't execute it, threw it high.
4 seconds into the fourth quarter, tied at 14. Ottawa-Glandorf, somebody just kind of flinched on the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a false start, and the Titans will back up 5 yards, so it'll be second down and 15 for Ottawa-Glandorf. Again, we are just underway here in quarter number 4. High school football tonight on WMAN, driven by the Buckeye Superstore, State Route 39 in Shelby, home of the Low Payment Kings, BuckeyeSuperstore.com. We're here in Shelby, the beautiful Whippet Athletic Complex, teaming up with our friends at the OH Report. We have a close one, tied at 14. It's been close throughout. Been a one-score game all night long, tied at 14, just underway fourth quarter. Second and 15 Titans at their own 44-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. They'll hand it off.
Nice play.
The running back has absolutely nowhere to go as the Whippets were there in numbers as they unpile Gortz, Carson Holman, I know we got one other lineman off the bottom of the pile. I want to make sure everybody gets their praise there. Number 54, Quentin Albert, the defensive tackle there. And there was tough sledding, Eric, in the middle. No gain.
Yeah, and that's a great job. Holman out there almost in a 7 technique, which means he's outside the tackle there. And he really did a good job of pinching down. Got rid of that initial blocker and really stoned him there at the line of scrimmage.
That was Vinny Brinkman on the carry. Big third down for Ottawa-Glandorf, and a penalty marker will come out.
Sideline warning on Shelby.
All right, sideline warning on the Whippets. It's 3rd down and 15, Ottawa-Glandorf at their own 44-yard line. 11-13 to play in the football game. We are tied 14-14. As again, there's no penalty yardage assessed on that because Eric mentioned it's a warning. The next one will not be a warning. 4 wide receivers, 3 to the right. Quarterback Yeager in the gun with the back to his right. He'll call for the football, back to pass. He'll turn, look up the field. He'll roll to the right, looking for a receiver. He'll square his shoulders, throw it up the field. The receiver dives but cannot catch it. It was into the sideline and out of bounds and incomplete on the far side of the field. Good effort by the wide receiver, Eric, but right there, that ball was just into the sideline, incomplete. I think it was Evers out there.
Yeah, Evers was out there through the, good effort by the sophomore thrown there. The lefty working to the right too, which is also difficult. And we got ourselves a 3rd, and what do we got here, Aaron? 15?
Actually, there was a penalty on the field, but they.
Okay, looks like we got a punt team coming out.
It's going to be 4th and 15.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're going to go ahead and decline that
penalty. I don't know what the penalty was on Ottawa-Glandorf, but it is being declined, and so Shelby is going to get the football back as the Titans will have to punt it away. 11:03 to play in the game, and again, we got a close one. It's been close throughout the entire night. Both teams scored on their first possessions, and we've of course had a couple scores here recently, but a low-scoring game. 11:03 to play, tied at 14 in the 4th quarter. Ottawa-Glandorf will punt the football, and the Whippets will drop back deep. As Eric mentioned, Shelby tonight, Brock Fisher is back deep. The punt is away.
There we go.
It'll be caught at about the 13-yard line. Good move to make one man miss to the 20-yard line, 25. And then he'll be taken down right there. Good punt there by Ottawa-Glandorf. As we mentioned earlier, Caden Fenberg, the senior, on the boot. But Eric, you mentioned if he doesn't catch that at the 13, the Whippets could have been pinned really deep, maybe inside the 10 or inside the 5.
Now listen, I love it. I've been hard on him. Brock Fisher, great job back there. Way to receive that thing. Listen, not only did he save it by catching it, he picked up an extra 10 yards. Yeah. So listen, that's the difference between starting inside the 15-yard line and starting at the 25. Your play calls are drastically different when you're not in the in the shadows of your own end zone. So 10:50 left. Here we go. 4th quarter. It's money quarter, man.
1st down and 10. Shelby at their own 25-yard line. 3 wide receivers. Handoff Gumbert. He'll spin his way across the 30, maybe near the 31, and then be shoved back. He will get forward progress to the 31. Give him 6 yards. Multiple guys were in there on the stop for Ottawa-Glandorf. But again, Gumbert's ran the football well here tonight, right there, just right behind his blockers. And again, give him 6 yards, bringing up 2nd and 4. The winner of this game tonight will play the Ontario Warriors. They have defeated the Clyde Flyers by a final score of 38-7. Ontario into the regional semifinals. Congratulations to Aaron Eckert and crew. What a season, and what a ball game for them tonight.
Now, proud of those guys. Good job, Warriors, man. Way to represent Richland County.
2nd down and 4. Shelby at their own 31. DeVito back to pass, looking down the field. He's got Bowman behind the secondary. Caught it at the 40. Breaks the tackle. 35, 30.
He's gone.
You can count him off down the sideline. 15, 10, and into the end zone. Brady Bowman scores from 69 yards out. Caught it at the 40. Broke a tackle and turned on the Jets to the house. And the Whippets have the lead for the first time tonight.
Yeah, great job there. Pass was once again in between the coverage. That safety couldn't get all the way over. Great job by number 4, Caden Price, to get over and also lay a little bit of a block to give him a little bit more comfort. And Brady Bowman responded. We had the reverse fumble inside the 2. And, hey, how about Shelby, man, answering that, that wave of emotion. Once again, let's go back and give credit to that defense getting the offense back, and Shelby getting that lead.
And here we go. The Whippets are going to go for 2. It is Michael Shepard who will throw it to the right. I don't know if he really had full control of the football. He rolls to the right, throws it. It doesn't even get to the receiver, Sam Gwirtz, in the end zone. It's incomplete. And the Whippets 2-point conversion try fails, and we'll step aside, but it's still a good idea to stop by Mill Iron Auto Parts. You'll receive top dollar for your used vehicle. Mill Iron, supporting local high school athletics. We'll step aside. Shelby has the lead for the first time tonight. 9:53 to play in the football game. Shelby 20, Ottawa-Glandorf 14. Back in a minute. You're listening to high school football on WMAN.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
Kickoff return by Ottawa-Glandorf after the Shelby touchdown. It's Brinkman on the return. It'll be a short gain across the 35, go down near the 38-yard line. So 9:45 to play in the football game. Shelby again has the lead for the first time tonight, 20-14. Ottawa-Glandorf 1st and 10 as they will throw it to the right. Yeager out of the backfield. That's Brinkman again. He'll be tackled across the 40. Terrific tackle right there by Denny LaFawn. Across the 40, put him down near the 41, so give him about 3 yards on first down. Clock running, 9.5 to play in the football game. 20-14, Shelby on top again for the first time tonight. They lead here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and Carson Homan, about 6'4" there, 215 pounds, made the quarterback throw the ball over top of him. And Travis Sloan falling down, running back jumps over top of him. There's a lot that took place there to get 3 yards.
2nd and 7 from their own 41. Ottawa-Glandorf, here's the quarterback. He'll throw it over the middle. Caught.
Ooh.
That's the running back, Evers. He slides out of a tackle into Shelby territory, inside the 45 and down near the 41-yard line. Grant Evers, a big kid, 6 feet even, 200 pounds. He kind of slipped out of a tackle there at midfield and picks up a home and kitchen supply first down, and they're in business at the Whippet 41.
Yeah, that's the old like little Tim Tebow, not really jump pass, but you're kind of faking that quarterback run. And when Evers isn't in the backfield, generally the run game then goes to Brinkman, but 18 gets a lion's share of those runs.
1st and 10 at Shelby's 41. The quarterback's going to run it. He gets out of a tackle initially. He'll slide his way to the 40-yard line. He'll get about a yard. One of the linemen came darting through and nearly had him, but he was able to, Yeager was, Eric, just to slip out of the grasp of the lineman. I think it was Kyler Williams.
Yep. Kyler, and listen, he didn't make the tackle, but he still made the play. You know what I mean? So what's that mean? That means he missed the tackle, but it ended up being,
it's 2 yards.
Yeah, he picked up 2 yards. Probably would have been a short loss if he'd have made the tackle, but still minimal gain. Love the effort. See, you can tolerate that as a coach. That's an effort play. You know what I mean? He just didn't make the play. You coach that up, and then good job by the pursuit getting there.
8 minutes to play in the football game. Shelby up 20-14. Ottawa-Glandorf 2nd down and 8 in Whippet territory. Back to pass. Yeager's going to throw.
Oh!
Nearly intercepted. I think Carson Holman was draped all over the quarterback. He threw it. Braden DeVito had hit him in the hands. He drops it. If he picks that off, it's 6 the other way.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. Yeah, Holman getting pressure. Yeah, DeVito intercepts that. That is a good night. He is gone on that. And, man, I think he'd like to have that one back. That's one of those ones he was literally staring at the end zone, which for him, that had been about a 70-yard pick 6, because there was no doubt he was gone on that one.
I believe it was Holman. I'm not sure. One of the linemen got in there.
It was
right
yep.
on the quarterback, who probably shouldn't have threw that pass and is glad that it wasn't intercepted. A big 3rd down and 8. Ottawa-Glandorf at the Shelby 39-yard line. 7:50 to play in the football game. 20-14 Whippets. And Ottawa-Glandorf is going to burn a timeout. We will keep it right here. Glad to be teaming up with our friends at the OH Report tonight. Most area games may be getting close to a close because we started at 7:30 tonight. We still have 7:50 to play here in the football game against again, if you're just tuning in, Shelby leading for the first time tonight. If you haven't been following, you may be surprised. Ottawa-Glandorf, it's been close throughout, but they've had the lead, and the Whippets just took control on a 69-yard touchdown throw and catch to Brady Bowman. Moments before that, when it looked like he was going to go in from 70 yards out and got stripped at the goal line.
Yeah, you got to give Glandorf credit. I mean, coming in, no doubt they were a prohibited underdog in this. Shelby the prohibited favorite. And so when you think about this game, it's been played at Ottawa-Glandorf's pace, but you got to give Shelby credit for their resiliency. This game has been a swing of emotions and plays, and another big one coming up here with a 3rd and 8. And you would almost think, Aaron, don't be surprised if you see a run here. This could be 4-down territory for the Titans.
3rd and 8 from the Shelby 39-yard line. They're down 1 score, under 8 to play in the game. Yeager back to pass. He's going to throw one down the seam. He's got a receiver, and he dropped it.
Man.
It was knocked away. The receiver back there, one of the Whippets, it may have been Fisher that got back there. The receiver was back there, looked like he was going to catch it, and at the last moment,
it might have been Dorsey.
One of the Whippets, it might have been Dorsey, and it was Cole Dorsey with a terrific play at about the 7-yard line. Right. That was going to be a catch by Yeager, instead knocked away by Dorsey.
Now a little bit of, they were obviously in coverage there, meaning they were in a zone. Now you're teaching your corner there a little bit of trail technique. If the safety was there, the safety we should be playing over top there. Safeties do not play trail technique. So the fact that receiver got by him, man, Shelby's kind of benefit there by not being complete.
They're going to go for it. 4th and 8 at the Whippet 39-yard line. 7:43 to go in the game. Yeager back to pass. He'll throw it up the field. Overthrows his receiver. He was going on the play for Metzger. Overthrows him, incomplete. And the Whippet defense holds, and they will take over on downs with 7:37 to play in the football game. And Shelby clinging to a 20-14 lead. The offense will get the football back.
And listen, when has Glandorf had success throwing the football? It's when they're on their terms, right? That's on Shelby's terms, that 3rd and long. They minor in throwing the football. They do not major in it. So when Shelby gets him in that type of situation, that's advantageous for Shelby to be successful defensively. And Glandorf, that's just not who they are. They're not a 3rd down, line it up and throw the football around the yard. And Shelby prospering here, and they really have an opportunity to almost put this game away if they can punch one more in.
1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line. Avita will fake the run. He'll throw it to the near side. Caught by Bowman. Tries to make Metzger miss. He'll actually just ride on his back out near the 45-yard line. That's a 6-yard throw and catch. And one thing, listening, watching with us on the OH report, they love to snap that ball and get it to Bowman in a hurry.
Yeah, and that's one of those plays. That's kind of the extension. That's like almost like the old school triple option, or you do it with your slot. So DeVito's got to run past there. So he puts it in the belly of that running back. He runs in, and then you run the option out on the edge. And a really nice job by Bowman there, picking up 5 yards.
7 minutes to play in the game. Shelby 20, Ottawa-Glandorf 14. Whippet 2nd and 4 from their own 45. They'll actually pitch it to Eister. He looks to throw it up the field. Now he's going to run it left side. He can still throw. Now he's getting near the line of scrimmage. He's across. He's going to have to run midfield. He'll run left side and then dive into Titan territory. He's got a home and kitchen supply 1st down as he runs to the Ottawa-Glandorf 48-yard line. Tremendous heads-up play by your senior.
Yeah, absolutely. And he did exactly the right thing there. If it's not there, tuck it down, go get your 1st down. That's a great job. And listen, I love it because 2 things there. One, I love the trick play. You run trick plays when it's not trick play situation, right? But the other thing is you got to give credit to the defense because, I mean, they covered that thing up really, really well. So excellent job by Ottawa-Glandorf's defense on the trick play.
1st down and 10, Shelby at the Titan 48-yard line. Hand off to Gumbert. The junior will kind of just plow his way behind the line about 2 or 3 yards down near the 45-yard line. Eric, as I say that, and he runs the ball, if you're Coach Mahaney and staff, you're reminding the guys both hands on the football right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. You listen, you want to milk this clock. You know, if Shelby takes 3-4 more minutes off the clock, they'd love that. And
put a score on the board.
Yeah, because a 2-score game, listen, Glandorf does not do well in the 2-minute right? That hurry up or that NASCAR offense, as you would say. So, another touchdown here really could put Glandorf really up against it.
5:45 to play in the game. 2nd and 8, Shelby. DeVito will run it near side, and he's tackled from behind. Terrific play. The linebacker flying up. That is Dane Dooling, actually defensive lineman, 6'4", 200 pounds. Will take him down for a couple-yard loss back to the original line of scrimmage where they started this drive back at the 48-yard line. So Shelby will have it 3rd down and 10, and to get the football at the Titan 48-yard line. The clock reads 5:18 to play in the football game. Shelby leading 20-14. This is a monster 3rd down in this game.
Yeah, and you'd like to have a little bit better blocking effort out of your tight end right there. He was able, you got to get that defensive end there.
4 wide receivers from the 48 on 3rd and 10. DeVito, he'll throw it down the field. Lambert, it hit him, and he's going to drop it at about the 15-yard line. I don't know if he thought it was going to be deflected by one of the defenders who got a hand up there, but it hit Lambert at around the 15-yard line and falls incomplete.
Now that right there was a beauty of a throw right there, right over top. Yeah, I mean, that's a touchdown. He just dropped a touchdown right there. And like you said, it's a difficult catch. Shelby, we've covered him quite a few times. I feel like there's been more drops tonight than we've seen throughout the year. And like you said, Aaron, that's a difficult catch. I want to make this clear. But, man, you got to make that catch, man. You make that catch in this game. It's no doubt about it, it's a touchdown. Got to make the catch.
4th and 10. Michael Shepard will punt it away. A high boot's going to sail at about the 18-yard line. And it will be a fair catch by Ottawa-Glandorf. That was Grant Evers who came up for the fair catch and ended up having a seat on the turf. His momentum kind of took him backwards. And so the Titans will start at their own 18-yard line with 4:49 to play in the football game. And Shelby again leading 20-14. Winner gets Ontario next week at a site to be determined by the Ohio High School Athletic Association, as the Warriors, very impressive, beating Clyde 38-7. That game is final. They defeat the Flyers, and the Warriors are 11-1. Yeager and Ottawa-Glandorf 1st and 10 at their own 18. Back to pass. Will throw it near side. That ball hit the turf as they throw it right side. The receiver caught it on a short hop. It is incomplete. They were targeting the guy that caught their first touchdown tonight, Deegan Miller.
Yeah, and once again, this is just not. I wouldn't abandon the run just yet if I were the Titans here. Just stick to what you do. You got 4:45. You got 2 timeouts. Don't feel like you have to throw the ball 3 straight plays. That's not who they are. Not to say they can't have success, but don't completely abandon the run. That's not your identity.
2nd and 10 from their own 18-yard line. 4:45 to play in the football game. Shelby 20, Ottawa-Glandorf 14. 4 wide receivers will throw it right side. Caught by the receiver and across the 25-yard line. Does not have the first down, but he's just a couple of yards shy of it. And that ball was caught by Nolan Horstman, a junior for Ottawa-Glandorf at the 26-yard line. So 3rd and a couple here. 3rd and 2 coming up for the Titans at their own 26-yard line with 4:39 to play in the football game. 20-14. Shelby on top, and he got out of bounds, so the clock is stopped.
Yeah, and that's a nice job out there. You'd like to see Gortz get out there a little bit quicker underneath because you got cover 3 behind it. But if you're the Titans here, you got 2 plays to pick up 2 yards.
2 receivers, 1 each way. Evers, the running back beside Yeager, who's in the gun, and hang on. Penalty marker is out. Is that a delay of game? It's a delay of game on Ottawa-Glandorf, and that is a monster penalty. 3rd and 2, deep in your own end, becomes 3rd and 7.
Now, here we go. That's the situation here. The play clocks are not working here at Shelby. They don't even have them going. So what that means is that back judge there, he'll put his hand up at the 5-minute mark. You'll see that official do this. Once his hand goes up in the air, you have 5 seconds. The quarterback's got to do it better. He's a sophomore, but over there you got to tell him, listen, when that back judge's hand goes up, you got 5 seconds.
3rd and 7 from their own 21-yard line. Ottawa-Glandorf, 4:39 to play in the football game. Down to score. They'll throw it over the middle. There was contact made.
And
the receiver, Deegan Miller, caught it at around the 38-yard line. There was definite contact made, but he still caught the ball, and it will be a home and kitchen supply first down for the Ottawa-Glandorf Titans on 3rd and long. They convert, and they're going to, of course, decline this penalty after.
Oh, yeah, take the penalty or take the play. Now, listen, here's a little bit of something for you, too. Mav Knoll for Shelby, he's normally that other corner, number 9. He's out of the game. He's not playing. He's got a little bit of a sore knee, so he's sitting this week. So you can see they're intentional. They're going after number 25, Cole Dorsey there. And, that's obviously the matchup they like. And listen, that's not a knock on him. That's just, listen, you're not the original starter. I'm going to go pick on 25 a little bit. And you're not throwing at 2. You know what I mean? You're not throwing at Braden DeVito. He's the best athlete on the field. So Cole Dorsey here, you just got to settle down, trust your keys, play football, keep everything in front of you.
First down for the Titans, presented by Home and Kitchen Supply, moves the football to their own 39-yard line. 1st and 10, clock running, 4:25 to play in the game. Shelby leading 20-14. Ottawa-Glandorf, the quarterback, Yeager to the near side. He'll throw it. That ball is actually going to be knocked away by Dorsey, or the receiver dropped it. He had his back to us. I couldn't tell if the receiver Metzger dropped it or Dorsey got a hand in there. Either way, that ball is incomplete on a good play, it looked like, by Dorsey, just kind of lunging out there.
Yeah, Cole Dorsey extending all of his body out there. Like you said, I don't know whether he got a hand on it or not, but regardless, it was enough of a distraction that the receiver dropped the ball. And, here we go. So Glandorf's obviously committed to the pass game here, so we'll see what kind of pressure, what does Shelby do to dial it up here, because he's not really that mobile of a quarterback, and he's young. He's only a sophomore.
4:17 to play in the game. 2nd and 10 from their own 39. Little screen pass to Brinkman. Good tackle right there by Quentin Albert. There was room to run up the middle. He got one arm on him and drug him to the turf at around the 42-yard line. Penalty marker comes out late, very late. And I think it's going to be on Shelby.
I wonder what they're calling
Just
there.
the way the officials are pointing, it's going to be on Shelby.
It's going to be 15 free one right there.
I don't know what it is. We'll sort it out as the official in front of us will say it's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the Shelby Whippets. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it is a huge play, because instead of just a couple-yard gain, they get a 15-yard penalty, and the football goes into Shelby territory at the Whippet 42. 1st and 10 with 4:03 to play in the game, and the Titans down 6 points.
Hey, Aaron, if you better get your Maalox out of the medicine cabinet, baby. This one's coming down to the wire.
3:56 to go in the game. Ottawa-Glandorf in Shelby territory. The ball thrown up in the air. It's just hanging up there. Tipped up and intercepted. Intercepted by the Shelby Whippets at around the 12-yard line. Around the 17-yard line. And it was Brock Fisher. The ball got knocked up in the air, and Brock Fisher picks it off at the 17.
Yeah, the quarterback's throwing a little too much of a 50-50 ball for my liking. This isn't the point in time to do that. Remember, he's a sophomore, first time playing here that we know of. And, the Whippet girls volleyball team made it all the way to state Final Four. That looked like a nice set there by the defensive back, and then the safety comes over and intercepts it. And great job there by the Whippets, getting themselves out of a very precarious situation after that 15-yard penalty. Now, make no mistake about it, we got 3:44 left. Shelby needs a couple first downs here. This thing isn't over.
No, but I'll tell you what, Brock Fisher on defense made a monster play for the Whippets. 1st and 10 at their own 17, leading 20-14, 3:44 to go in the game. DeVito will run it right side across the 20, 25. He'll be hit and go down near the 26-yard line. So DeVito scoots that time, Eric, for about 9 yards. And what the Whippets want to do, get first downs and keep that clock moving.
Absolutely, and stay in bounds. So they picked up, 9 yards on that play.
Yep.
So the clock's still running. We're at 3:20 and counting. And, listen, DeVito's smart. Listen, DeVito's got a ton of game reps underneath that belt. So he knows exactly where that back judge is. He'll be paying attention. He's going to watch that hand go up. You do not want to snap this thing inside of 5 seconds. Churn that clock, baby. And if you're the Whippets, first downs are worth way more than points.
2nd and 2 from their own 25. 3 to play in the football game. Fake the handoff to Gumbert. DeVito's going to dance around, looking nowhere to go, and he'll just go down. It will be a loss back inside the 25 at the 24, so he will lose a yard, as DeVito needed to, but again, there was nowhere to go. The smart play was he used some clock. He got down. The clock's running, and if they still have a 3rd and very manageable, they only need roughly 3 yards here on 3rd down.
I almost thought he was going to try to shoot through that little gap and try to pick up the first down. I was kind of surprised he just ate it and fell down. I think there was a crease there, but nonetheless, here we go. Shelby in a 3rd and 3, and do you risk the pass? Do you try to keep the clock moving? What do we do? We're going to find out.
And 2:15 to play in the game. Shelby 3rd and 3 from their own 24-yard line, leading 20-14. DeVito's got it. First down. 30, 40. DeVito. He may go. 40 and 30, 20, 10, 5, and into the end zone as Braden DeVito DeVito darts 76 yards to the house as the Shelby Whippets with a monster big play from their star quarterback, Braden DeVito.
Braden DeVito, man, well over 1,200 yards rushing. Listen, man, just an interesting defensive set as well. Really no second-level players. And, man, he got the crease, and DeVito with the speed saying, see you later, baby. Load up that bus and head back to Putnam County, baby, because it looks like the Whippets, baby, moving on.
Braden DeVito, 76 yards to the house on 3rd and 3. The Whippets with a monster score to put them up 2 scores. 26-14 Shelby with 1:59 to play in the game, and they will go for 2 as DeVito is set up in the gun, and the officials are going to walk out for a moment and hold up play. I'm not sure what's going on. Is there a penalty? Okay, somebody says there is a penalty. I don't see a mark.
Well, they said offsides on Shelby, so I'm not sure.
All right, so the Whippets lined up offside.
So weird. Well, I mean, obviously what happened was you had somebody obviously lined up too far forward. Having said that, I don't know, man. That's a weird call, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's going to be a 2-point conversion. They'll move the football back and put it at the 8-yard line. So Shelby leading by 12 points right now. It's a 2-possession game. They're going to try to make it an even 14 points. 1:59 to go here in the football game. 2 wide receivers each way. DeVito back to pass. 2-point conversion. He'll throw it right side. Caught, drilled as Bowman caught the football, and he was met rudely by Gage Bellman, the sophomore defensive back. He'll take him down at around the 5-yard line. 2-point conversion, no good.
Now, here's the thing. You got a crossing route there, okay? Here's your coaching point. Down there, because of that, they chose to play coverage, which means they were in zone. Here's your coaching, here's the coaching side. Here's what you talk to your receiver. When you are running crossers, if you're in man, keep running. If you're in zone, find the window and sit. Because when you leave one zone, you're going into another, which means you're asking to have your head knocked off. Does that make sense? Sit in the window, let the quarterback deliver the ball. Man, keep running. Zone, sit in the window.
We are going to keep it right here. 26-14 Shelby with 1:59 to play in the game. Braden DeVito now on the season, Eric, is you kind of go through the numbers and you look how impressive he has been. Braden DeVito now with 55 touchdowns accounted for, 1 rushing tonight and 2 passing, and all of the touchdowns for the Whippets, all 3 of those outside of the first one have been really big plays of better than 60 or 70 yards. Kickoff. This is a return by Metzger. He'll kind of spin across the 30 and go down a little bit shy of the 35-yard line for Ottawa-Glandorf. Eric, not where they want to be. Down a couple of scores and not a lot of time on the clock. There's 1:52 to play in the game. Shelby 26 and Ottawa-Glandorf 14. And remember, Ottawa-Glandorf, a very good defensive team, but they're not a quick strike offense, even though they did score on 1 big play earlier tonight.
Right. But Shelby's going to be sitting back and playing a little coverage here, so you're not going to be able to surprise them like you did with that play earlier within the flow of your offense organically. So, if you're Shelby, you're going to start seeing 7 and 8 guys in coverage. You're going to make this really difficult for that sophomore QB.
1st and 10 from their own 33-yard line. 1:52 to go in the game. Yeager's going to roll on to the right. Yeager's going to throw it up the field. He was going for Metzger. Brady Bowman was there defensively. It'll be incomplete. Shy of midfield. Clock stops with 1:45 to play in the football game. Again, the winner of this game will meet the Ontario Warriors next Friday night in the regional semifinals at a site to be determined by the Ohio High School Athletic Association. We'll talk about that coming up in tonight's postgame show, but still a ways to go. The Whippets leading by 12 points with 1:45 to play in the game. They only had 1 touchdown in the first half. They put up 3 here in the second half, and it's 2nd and 10. Ottawa-Glandorf, their own 33-yard line with 1:45 to play in the game. Yeager dropped the ball on the snap. He'll roll to the right. He'll throw it off the hand of Yeager, incomplete. Brock Fisher was out there defensively, and it will be incomplete, and it will be 3rd and 10. Eric, coming up for Ottawa-Glandorf at their own 33. Clock reached 1:40 to play in the game, and Shelby owning a 26-14 lead. If you're the Whippets, all you want is to keep that ball in front of you. You don't even care if they catch the ball, tackle them and bounce and let that clock run.
Yeah, right now, and that's the thing about it. DeVito scores on that long run, and it just puts them in such a tough situation because it requires 2 possessions. And, listen, this is not what they do. They're kind of a fish out of water here trying to throw this ball around.
4 wide receivers back to pass on 3rd and 10. They'll throw it to the far side. They're going for Yeager again, going for Metzger again. He'll throw it out in front of him near the 40. It's incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down. Again, Ottawa-Glandorf entering tonight's game, they were completing starting quarterback-wise around 48%. Not a big passing team, but Eric, they've thrown it a ton here tonight.
Yeah, they've thrown probably more than they wanted to, but a lot of that here in the second half is because really since the start of the 4th quarter, they've been playing from behind. But I would even say, I'm with you, Aaron, I'd say early on they probably threw more than we anticipated.
Yeah,
remember,
absolutely.
they're a 65-35 run to pass, so they wanted to come in here and establish the run. I think they were able to see in this type of game they were going to have to, they were going to have to get some chunk plays or at least keep Shelby's defense, keep Shelby's defense, off its, kind of away from the scouting report that's saying these are run tendencies. They were trying to go away from those tendencies.
Well, 4th and 10 for Ottawa-Glandorf. They're going to burn a timeout. We'll keep it right here. It's 4th and 10 for the Titans at their own 33-yard line. Clock reads 1:34 to play in the game. Shelby again owning a 26-14 lead on Ottawa-Glandorf. And again, we're going to run down some of those scores from the North Central State College high school football scoreboard. Ontario on to the regional semifinals, a 38-7 win over Clyde. Northmore wins 39-7 over Centerburg. Colonel Crawford season ends. They fought at Grandview Heights in a low-scoring game, 13-6. Also, a few other games from around the area. Ashland wins 27-14. The Arrows are now 12-0 and off to the regional semifinals. Lexington leading 43-29 4th quarter.
How about the Minutemen, man?
At Rocky River.
Since that loss to Ashland, man, they've been playing with their hair on fire.
Road wins in the postseason. 4th and 10 back to pass. The quarterback drops it. He'll turn.
Nobody
and just
there.
Throw it up the field. The only players there are Whippet jerseys. It'll sail over their head and hit at Shelby's 30-yard line, incomplete. And the Whippet faithful in front of us, they're happy because Shelby's going to get the football back. 1:27 to play in the game, leading by 2 scores. And they can come out and try and just run the clock out on this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what they'll do. If they're smart, actually catch the ball, take a knee. They've got one timeout left, so
yes,
which they may or may not even use. But this is victory formation. You don't even need to stay. The only thing that can happen by running a play is something not good. Just catch just snap it, take your knee.
Well, the victory formation, your favorite formation, as you mentioned, because the Whippets trying to advance into the regional semifinal. They'll have Nick Eister actually line up and take that snap. And he'll take the knee, and the clock will run with 1:17 left here in the football game. And we're moments away from telling you the rematch everybody was hoping for is about to happen. Clock running with 1:08 to play here in the football game. Shelby leading 26-14. And it'll be 2nd down and 15 as they lose 5 yards on that first snap.
You think people are going to be excited next week?
I would think.
Do you think we can dial up Arlen Field? I think that's where it's got to be, doesn't it? Jory even agrees with us.
That is
Let's
the
put
hope.
this thing at Arlen Field. Let's get 6,000-7,000 people down there. Let's make it blue and red, and let's have Richland County. And then everybody in Richland County, if you're from Mansfield and Madison and Clear Fork and wherever you're from, Madison, let's get there. I think we could have an incredible atmosphere down there. It just makes sense that's where the game would be. Plus, for us, it's right across the street from the radio station.
It's our favorite drive as the Whippets will take a snap. Nick Eister puts the knee down, and we can tell you, final score tonight, the Shelby Whippets defeat the Ottawa-Glandorf Titans by a final score of 26-14. Shelby improves to 12-0, and the Whippets and the Ontario Warriors will have a rematch of that epic game in Week 9 next week in the regional semifinals. And my friend, that gets all kind of football fans in the area all kind of excited.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that, I know, and listen, this at time, I don't even like the word ugly. I didn't feel like it didn't have Shelby struggled to do what Shelby does best, which is get out early, fast, and just put up a bunch of points and just play free.
And Eric, they had to battle.
They had to battle. So
and that happens in the playoffs.
So you got to tip your cap to Glandorf. I thought they played well. As a matter of fact, for 3/4 of this game, I thought they actually they played. They were probably the better team, and they probably were able to dictate the tempo and the pace of the game. Having said that, Shelby does what they often do, which is good luck for 4 quarters keeping Braden DeVito down and Brady Bowman.
Well, the Whippets move on. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll have our player of the game. We hope to maybe even hear from the head coach as well. The post-game show is next. Final score tonight, Shelby 12-0 off to face Ontario in the regional semifinals next week. As tonight, they defeat Ottawa-Glandorf in the regional quarterfinals. Final score, Shelby 26, Ottawa-Glandorf 14. The post-game show is next. You're listening to high school football on WMAN.
At Avita Home Health and Hospice, our caring professionals are ready to serve you with personally tailored services designed to meet the unique needs of each individual. When we take on a patient at Avita Home Health and Hospice, they really do feel like family. So when we take care of our family, we want to take care of the whole person. So we take care of them from our nurses, our aides, our physical, occupational, and speech therapists, but we also have people that tend to their hearts. So we have social workers, we have chaplains, and people that can help with the emotional side of their care.
At Avita Home Health and Hospice, we have a dedicated team that takes care of you. Caring for the whole person is our promise to you. From social and emotional well-being to the way the patient relates to their loved ones, we treat your family like our family.
Serving patients and their families wherever they call home, including assisted living facilities and nursing homes. Call 1-800-4NURSES to see if Avita can help administer your plan of custom care.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Welcome to Richland County's first artificial intelligence ATM. And if you car dance to the song you're listening to now, I will give you $50. See, that's something an ATM can never do.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Oh, we're serious.
Gosh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. We hope your day is a little bit better today.
Yes, thank you.
Let's go. Friday night lights. Get hype. It's Friday night. Friday night lights. Get hype. Here we go now. Friday
about it is you got two great schools, two of the best coaching staffs in Richland County. You've got the two, along with Braden DeVito. I got Braden Fogel. I got to get Braden Fogel in there. But the two premier players in the county. It doesn't get any better than that. And the winner of that gets to go to the regional final. And that's what you wanted. After what we saw after that issue with the play or with the kickoff, we were like, we all wanted to see that again. So Ontario obviously held up their end of the bargain. I mean, they took, they took Clyde to the woodshed tonight.
38-7.
38-7. I mean, a running clock is incredible. And, for Ontario to be able to do that, congratulations, Coach Eckert and all those guys. And listen, two really good programs. Ontario continuing to build. Shelby's been there for a while. I mean, when you think about Shelby has 30 conference championships. You know what I mean? Like, they're kind of like seasoned and used to being in this position. And then you look at Ontario, I love the progression they've made since Coach Eckert's taken that program over. And then, of course, you get an Ohio State commit. That doesn't help. That doesn't hurt either. But, I'll tell you what, couldn't be any more proud of both of these schools representing the county really, really well. And, man, hey, doesn't get any better than this, right? Next week, those two teams, 7 o'clock kickoff. I'll tell you what, pinch me, man. Pinch me.
All right, that'll be the regional semifinal matchup next week as Shelby will take on Ontario.
DeVito's coming up right now.
DeVito is on his way. We'll talk with Braden DeVito tonight. I can tell you, by the way, quickly, how about Lexington, 49-29?
Yeah, how about that?
They lead in the fourth quarter at Rocky River. The Minutemen putting up nearly 50 tonight.
Right, and I'll tell you what, man. Great job, Coach Saris and that Lexington staff as well. Division III doing a great job. Ashland, great job. It's just couldn't be any more proud of the way these local teams are playing. Obviously, Division III as well. It's here he comes.
Yep.
We're going to get an interview here with Braden DeVito.
We're going to get him in front of the camera, and we'll get him on the radio and on the OH report.
Here, we want to hand that to him there.
Have him stand in front of the camera down there.
Hey, Braden, throw those on, big boy. Thank you.
Shelby wins tonight by a score of 26-14 as the Whippets again move on to the regional semifinals next week. And he's got the headset on. Braden DeVito, our player of the game. Braden, first of all, congratulations on the win here tonight. I know it was a hard-fought game. I know they have a very good defense. What's your takeaway from tonight's win?
Man, I'm just glad that we were able to battle through all the adversity, the big Brady Bowman game, and for him to come back and make that play. I'm so proud of the guys. And a big takeaway there, that's a tough team. They play hard, they tackle the football, they pursue, and I'm glad that we were just able to get the job done and move on to next week, survive and advance.
So Braden, what was the talk like as you guys were continuing through this game? Because you guys are a big play offense. You put up points in a hurry, and there's got to be a little bit of level of frustration sometimes that can pop in there when you're not putting points up as quickly as you would like. What's the conversation like? What are you saying to the guys to keep them focused on the next play? Because, man, you knew it was going to happen, but you just had to be patient. So what were some of the words? What were some of the wisdom and some of the leadership that you were giving the guys?
Just don't hang our heads, and I especially couldn't hang my heads in front of them, being a leader that I am out there on the field. So just giving the guys courage, and then just telling them, hey, we're going to go get them next play, and keeping a positive mindset in everyone's mind around me, and keeping my chin up to lead by example.
We're talking with Braden DeVito, our player of the game tonight, as Shelby moves on to the regional semifinals next week. What did you guys talk about at halftime with the coaching staff? That's a very, very good defense you played, and a lot of little tweaks and adjustments can be made. But what did you guys talk about in the locker room at halftime?
A couple of our leaders, like Carson Holman, just stepped up and said this wasn't us. There was things that we were getting to the ball and not finishing tackles, and when our defensive game plan, coach came in with the big board that he always writes the changes on, and all it said was "do your job!" exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, because that's what the problem was. We just weren't doing our jobs. They put us in the right positions, and we just weren't finishing plays. So the mindset the second half was to come out, do what we're doing, except finish the plays, and that's what we did the second half.
Yeah. So just kind of looking ahead here a little bit, Braden, we got to do it. Ontario won 38-7 tonight, so that's who you're going to be playing next week. Big emotional win tonight. What are we thinking about? I mean, I know you're probably the first time hearing that maybe that they got the win tonight. I mean, I know you're going to be excited. Ontario Shelby 2.0. What's your initial thought?
Man, they're a great team, and we've seen them. We played them, and we know the player that they got, and just keeping the guys laser focused all week, and we know it's going to be a big game, probably at Arlen Field if I had to guess.
We're all hoping.
Let's hope.
Yeah. So a huge atmosphere, just like the first time around, and just to let the guys embrace it, and we earned to be here and not get complacent, and all week have a laser focus and execute when Friday comes next week.
Well, Braden, we're going to let you go, but if you want to give any shout-outs to anybody watching and
look in the camera, look at the camera right here, Braden. Look at that smile, guys. Hey, listen, Kirsten and Doug paid for that smile. Okay, there's braces on that thing. So go ahead and give a shout-out, big boy.
I just want to shout out my whole O-line. They held up a great game tonight, and they stayed patient and stayed a positive mindset. And then just all the guys stepping up after adversity in the first half and coming out and just making plays when plays needed to be made in crunch time.
Yeah. Well, Braden, you are a treat to watch. Congratulations. We can't wait to see you next week in the regional semifinals.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, congratulations,
Thank you so much.
Braden. We'll see you next week, brother.
Thanks, Braden. Braden DeVito, our player of the game. We'll grab that from you. Thank you, Braden. We'll see you next week. We're hoping Arlen Field as well. As
the kids want it too, man. That's what I'm saying. Listen, if you're a Tiger,
that's what's cool about it.
If you're a Tiger fan, you might. I don't think you take it for granted, but it's a cool venue, man. You're in Mansfield. You got. I mean, it's like a cathedral, man. It's beautiful in there. Big old stadium, and man, I don't think there's anywhere else that game can be. So
I'd love to see that thing about at least 75% full. Would you not love that?
I think you're going to see. I think Jory knows it's going to happen too. You're going to have everybody in the county come into this game to watch these two teams, and you got, in my opinion, you know this, there's no better place to call a game than Arlen, and then you get that stadium, both sides. Like I said, you're going to have blue and red duking it out, and you know, how lucky are we, Aaron, that we get to cover the best teams every week, the best athletes, and then you get to see the human side of it. You know what I mean? They take their helmets off, they kind of let their guard down, and you know, Bodpin Miller, just a first-class dude, you know, Braden DeVito, just a first-class human being, like all these guys are. They're truly are good people. They're good students. And
speaking of good people, he's on the way.
Yeah, we got Coach Mahaney coming up. You know,
Coach Mahaney's going to come talk with us here in the post-game show. If you're just tuning in, Shelby defeats Ottawa-Glandorf tonight by a final score of 26-14. We're making the coach climb the stairs. He's getting his steps in as we're here in the post-game show. Braden DeVito, by the way, our Spitzer.
Yelling at us. What's funny is we made him do this at Skiles. There's a few more steps, Coach, for this one.
There is a few more. Braden DeVito, by the way, also our Spitzer Motors game changer. His hustle and his effort, his 3 touchdowns tonight for the Shelby Whippets help power them into the regional semifinals next week. Spitzer Motors, West 4th Street in Ontario. You can shop online anytime at drivespitzer.com. And making the hike up the stairs, glad to have Shelby football coach Rob Mahaney. First of all, Rob, thanks so much for joining us. Congratulations on the win, and I think you just have to call this one a battle. You know, the Western Buckeye League, they're tough, they're physical, they play good defense at Ottawa-Glandorf, but you had to be proud of the way your kids fought through adversity. What's kind of your takeaway right away after this one?
Yeah, I think at the end there you kind of summed it up. Just proud of these kids. I mean, it's been a long week. You know, it's been a really long week, and, you know, we've been there for each other all the way through, and I think tonight we were able to do that on the field, you know. Not our cleanest game, you know, at least offensively. Defensively, we played really well, you know, and did a lot of really good things. But offensively, obviously, we got to clean some things up moving forward. But, you know, I thought we showed some really good signs of toughness and grit offensively. You know, a kid like Brady Bowman has a mistake on the end zone, but then comes back and makes a big play to score right after that. And, you know, as I was telling the guys on the field, that's kind of symbolizes this team in a way. Like, we're going to bounce back. We're going to carry each other. We're going to trust and move on to the next play and do those kind of things. And so just proud of those kids. And, you know, like you talked about it, we face some adversity, and we can only hope that moving forward that's going to help us down the road.
You know, and it's funny because you talk about whether you play your best game, win ugly. I've never even liked that anyways because a win's a win. It does, especially in the playoffs at this, because you know this, a 5-5 or now a 6-5. Well, not to be 6-6, but a 6-5 coming in Ottawa-Glandorf. You know what kind of a conference that WBL is. That's a big boy conference. But you know, schematically tonight, did they do anything defensively that
kind of threw you, like we didn't necessarily see that on film? Were some of their players maybe a little bit better positionally than you thought as well? Because I thought they were very disciplined, and I thought they really, really played aggressively.
And they threw it more than I thought they would, Rob.
Right.
Yeah, well, to speak to their defense, that was something we talked about. And again, you talk about OG, you're talking about a community that prides themselves in their high school sports. I mean, look at the weekend they had this weekend with their volleyball team and their soccer team, and obviously, we know their basketball team. They were down there with us last year. I mean, they are a community that prides themselves in high school sports and playing for their community. And, you could see it on the film of how much effort they play with defensively. When you think you have them beat or when you think you have them positioned, they do a really good job of getting off blocks and getting to the football. And they play with constant effort. And obviously, that was, by the fumble that they caused down on the goal line on Brady. I mean, they continuously play extremely, extremely hard. Schematically, they really stood. They did a really good job. Their safeties kept bailing and bailing and bailing and keeping everything in front. And we tried to do a couple things to manipulate it, and obviously missed a couple times here and there. But again, it's a credit to them. They do a really good job, and like you said, they're battle tested. They play really good opponents every week. And again, we missed some opportunities. Obviously, in the first half, we got down to the goal line and didn't score, and then obviously the fumble and all those kind of things. So, again, and what was awesome is that what you talked about at the end, Aaron, is that we got them to be one-dimensional. Because we were able to put some pressure and score some points offensively. They had to turn to their pass game, which is not really something that they like to do. But it's also a credit to our guys, our front seven, that really control the line of scrimmage and force them out of their run game.
Rob Mahaney, Shelby's football coach, is with us. They win tonight 26-14. They defeat Ottawa-Glandorf, and they are on to the regional semifinals. Before we get to your opponent, the thing is about this team, you guys are, Eric always says, you're one play away, that big play, and you look at it tonight, Coach Mahaney, 66-yard touchdown pass to Lambert, 69-yarder to Bowman, and oh, by the way, 76 for Braden DeVito. That's the one thing about this offense. You guys are just one play away from striking like that, and you have so many weapons out there.
Yeah, I think it's, and again, you don't ever say their name, but like the offensive line does a tremendous job.
Braden DeVito just shouted him out, by the way.
Yeah, good. Yeah. That's because Braden knows who keeps him up.
That's right.
I mean? But, our offensive line played extremely well, and they have played like that all year, and they do a really good job. And so, in my opinion, it all starts with them. And then, obviously, we have a ton of weapons, but obviously Braden does a really good job of facilitating those guys and making plays with his legs. And like you said, whether it's Avery or Brady or any of those guys, that they're ready. They're always willing and ready to make that play when it's their time. And again, it's a credit. It's a credit to our kids. I talked about this last week with some of the stuff that we did, but there are a lot of high school sports or a lot of high school coaches who think high school kids can only handle so much.
That's right.
Like, we want to keep it well. We're going to only run 5, like Herman Boone and Remember the Titans, right? We're going to run 6 plays and we're going to run, like that's not what we believe in. You know what I mean? We throw a lot of the stuff at these kids to try to have a lot of different things in plays to make some explosive plays. And I thought our kids do a great job week in and week out of executing that.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I'm glad you said that because we love covering you because we always know there's going to be a little bag of tricks in there. No, we love it, and we love your short yardage stuff, any of the goal line or any of the 2-point conversion stuff. Yeah. I mean, you, as a former defensive coordinator, you are making defensive coordinators work. They're burning the midnight oil because they're saying, well, not only what we've seen on film, but they're going to come out with a couple things that are different. And I know as an offensive mind that you like that. You want those defensive guys spending a little extra time thinking.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we kind of have our stuff that we want to do.
Right.
But if we're making you practice, a reverse this or a fake reverse this, and that's what you're having your scout team run, then you're not running some of our basic stuff, So we really do have a philosophy of, some people, and again, and it's not to talk bad about other high school coaches, they do a really good job, but you have like your bag of tricks and you hold on to them and you hold on to them and you hold on to them. We're going to run them because then, we feel like we're fortunate enough to have an offensive staff that is creative, and we're going to find new ways to fill the bag and also make the defense prepare for it, like you said.
And a quick follow-up, then I'm going to let Aaron do his thing. Now, how do you guys come up with those? Do you guys kind of in offensive meetings? Do you guys just say, "Hey, does anybody have a play this week?" Or did anybody come? Because I remember when I was at Liberty, they would do that. The offensive guys would come together and they would say, "Okay, who's got the trick play for the week?" They would actually try to draw them up and see. I don't, how do you? What's your process?
You can't give away his secrets, probably,
yeah, that's
right?
right. No, what we're very fortunate that we want guys. If you have an idea, bring it to the table. You know, again, it's like, oh, is this crazy to do? No, let's try it. Right. And then if it does happen sometimes where maybe it was a little too much, and at practice it's like, okay, we got to scrap this. But, you know, at the end of the day, we're going to try it again. And again, I think it makes it fun for the kids, you know, just to do this kind of stuff, and have this opportunity. And so I think our kids, they buy into it, they love it, and they do a really good job of that. So we get to there, and, you know, we kind of go through their base alignment, all that kind of stuff. And then at the end, you know, you'd like to say we meet for about 2 hours, and the first hour is the nuts and bolts, and then it's ideas. You know, what do we have? What do we like? What do we want to try to do?
Love it. Shelby football coach Rob Mahaney, we got to let him go. They defeat Ottawa-Glandorf 26-14. I'm sure you've heard Ontario has defeated Clyde 38-7. You will face the Warriors next week in the regional semifinals, and just from the broadcasting perspective, that first one was a treat, man. I know for us, we're looking forward to it. Braden DeVito is telling us he's hoping, and we all do, we're hoping it's played at Arlen Field. We won't know till Sunday. But, Rob, what a great thing for Richland County next week.
Yeah, and that's what I told the guys down on the field when they were asking me, it's Ontario. I'm like, well, let's just, I mean, it's awesome because, again, a couple weeks ago, I mean, all of Richland County, you know, was able to talk about it and be here. And now, being the only two teams left playing, there'll be even more people, I would like to think, that want to come to that game, because you're going to see two marquee players. I mean, you're talking about the two best players in Richland County, in my opinion, and I think it'll be an awesome game. And, you know, obviously, Ontario's a really good football team. We know that, and they're coached well. Coach Ecker does a great job, and they do all the little things right, you know. And last time, like you said, you know, it came down all the way to the wire, and, you know, we were fortunate to get a break at the end. And, you know, it's tough to play anybody twice.
That's right.
Right. So you know, and so we just got to make sure, you know, our kids are. I'm sure they'll be excited. Obviously, anytime you're playing in the regional semifinals, and then especially when you add, you know, everything, you know, playing Ontario, I think our kids will be excited.
By the way, Lexington wins tonight 49-29 at Rocky River. Ashland defeats Columbus St. Francis de Sales 27-14. So still a couple other area teams playing. I know we got to let you go. Last thing, Brock Fisher interception was so huge. And everybody talks offense, you talk defense. That was a big play in this game.
Yeah, I think Brock Fisher did it. I mean, again, he's a kid, another one of those kids. You know, we talked about it coming into the season. We had a junior class of a lot of kids that a lot of people didn't know about, but it was like we felt really confident about what they did and how to prepare themselves. And Brock's one of those kids. You know, he worked extremely hard and has done some things for us offensively, and then obviously defensively he made the big play there. And again, our defense they played phenomenal, other than two really big plays. And Brock made a mistake on one of those plays, and he came back and made the big play to seal it. So again, it just speaks to you know, I wish I had a better word in my mind, the grit, the tough, whatever you want to talk about. This team, they're not going to quit. They're not going to let something bother them. They're going to move forward because they know they got the group behind them.
So how does it work? You enjoy this one till midnight, and then you worry about Ontario? How's that work, Rob? You enjoy this for at least tonight, right?
You know, I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, we're going to enjoy it. I mean, it's been a long week. You know, I mean, it really has been a long week. Try to exhale a little bit. And then it's going to be another long week. You know what I mean? It's going to start off with some, you know, obviously some things that we're going to do as a team, and then obviously we'll get into Ontario. So I mean, it's going to be. You give a lot of credit to these kids. I mean, I should say that. I mean, you give a lot of credit to our kids who have gone through a ton this week, and to come out here and execute and to play through that, and you know, to honor a teammate. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, that's all we can ask them to do.
Yeah, and you mentioned win this one for Graham Scott.
That's right.
Which was tonight. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Coach.
Congratulations, Rob. Good luck next week. We'll see you in the regional semifinals, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach, for spending some time with us.
Thanks, Rob. Have a great night. Thank you. That's Rob Mahaney, football coach at Shelby, joining us in tonight's post-game show, and we'll put a wrap on it here as Shelby defeats Ottawa-Glandorf 26-14. We mentioned Braden DeVito, Spitzer Motors game changer. A heck of a play. We just talked about him. Brock Fisher, that monster interception. He got some free pizza from the Heck Law Offices and Giannino's Pizzeria. And, of course, you can go online, hecklawoffices.com, get a free consultation. Jeff Heck, Jeff Stifler, Mansfield Injury Lawyers. Glad to have the OH report with us tonight. High school football, Shelby 12-0 and on to the regional semifinals. Ottawa-Glandorf ends a nice season and a good run in the postseason. They end at 6-6. High school football tonight on WMAN, driven by the Buckeye Superstore, State Route 39 in Shelby, home of the Low Payment Kings. BuckeyeSuperstore.com. So fingers crossed, Arlen Field next week.
Jory,
right?
well, let's go.
That's the hope.
I'm sure we'll be doing this again next week. Ontario and Shelby again. And then Lexington, of course, playing again next week as well. And they're in their regional semifinal. So congratulations to the Minutemen and then also to the Ashland Arrows. Nice run to those guys as well.
Fabulous broadcast, my friend. Jory, thank you so much. OH Report, terrific working with them. Thank you for listening tonight to high school football here on WMAN and the OH Report. Again, we'll give you the final score one final time. Shelby off to the regional semifinals. The rematch with Ontario coming up next Friday night. We'll find out where that officially will be on Sunday afternoon. Final score, Shelby goes to 12-0, and they defeat Ottawa-Glandorf in the regional semifinals. Final score here tonight, again, the regional quarterfinal, I should say. Final score tonight, Shelby 26, Ottawa-Glandorf 14. Thanks for listening as we say good night from Shelby.